and welcome to another episode of the Mighty Blue Baggers.
No.
Fourever rivals. How are we, fellas? What a week. Can I say this could be one of the biggest weeks in football this year with everything that's going on. What do you reckon? Liam?
Yeah. Good evening, gentlemen. It's a pretty hectic week. There's a lot happening. Unfortunately for my team, it's the end of the season, though. So, but we're going to knock off Geelong on Saturday night. We're going to smack them, so it's going to be all good. That's all.
Finish on a high, huh? Finish on a high.
Oh, it's locked in. It's basically penciling to win already. Give us the points now, I reckon. Confidence.
What about you, Mickey boy?
Yeah.
Secured another fucking final series, another one under McRae.
Yep. What can I say, man? If we finished, there's still a small chance of us finishing lower than 8th, I think. But if we finished 8th or above, I'm content. We actually made the proper finals without this gimmick wild card round that allows mediocre teams to enter into the finals. So if we finish 8th, I'm happy. But still, it's been a disappointing season from my end. We've had chances to finish higher, but the consequence of our injuries has allowed a lot of young kids to play, and those kids almost got the win for us last week. It's good to see. Like everyone was saying, "Oh, you got no kids." Yeah, well, our kids just almost won against a full-strength Hawthorn, and it was our kids that almost got us over the line. So, yeah.
There you go. You must be the only Collingwood supporter who isn't happy because your coach was pumped after the draw. How much was he pumped up?
I know,
He's considering that as a win, mate.
Rocco, man, I'm in a minority that thinks that was ridiculous. That tells you everything you need to know, man. Look, I understand the thinking behind it, yeah? What I just said, the kid's got us over. He's trying to probably convey to the fans and to the personnel, which were a lot of kids, he's probably just trying to say, oh, you did well, but still, man, it's not a win, mate. Just do that in the rooms, man. Look, and as I said, man, I'm a minority on this, mate. If you look on all the other socials, oh, how great is this? It's not great, man. We didn't win, mate. Doesn't matter if we played with our reserves and we got the draw, mate. It's not a win, man.
I think ours was a bit different, our draw, and we'll talk about that because it meant something at the end. So it was a different kind of draw. But the reaction from our senior coach now was completely different. If you read his lips, he said that was fucking shit. That's what he said after the draw. He said that was shit. Yeah. That's his exact words, you know what I mean? So he's got a different mindset at the moment.
The opposition was totally different, mate. Bulldogs without Bontempelli in English, you should have won that on form. You should have won that easily, mate. So, yeah. But
won it easily? Mate, I know people say that, but it's one player, man, like really an English, man. Seriously, man, how many teams have had players out and they fucking win the game, mate? Bulldogs, that is a disservice to the Bulldogs, man. They played probably the best game they've played in fucking 6 weeks, man. They was coached well, the way they set up the ground. Yeah, I don't know, man. I reckon you're just doing a disservice to the Doggies, man. They've been playing well, but it is probably their best game in about 6 weeks, man. They put it all together. But anyway, we'll talk about that. What about Marco? There's nothing to say about you. You're just a shit side, man. That's it, huh?
Good evening, boys, and good evening to the chat. But, what a big week it has been in football, boys?
Yeah.
But, really I'm looking forward to our season to end by the end of this week. So not much more can really say, boys, but let's finish off this season.
I actually got I saw some Essendon supporters. I got some vision of them watching the game.
Oh, here we go.
No! Please, don't!
That was you, Mark. I'm
That
fucking
was,
on the
mate.
week.
I was just about to say that's me, mate. That's 100% me, Rocco. So yeah, it's certainly becoming that way at the moment, mate. So yeah, it wasn't a really good effort this
season
week
couldn't
anyway.
come.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to fix this fucking camera, man. I do apologize.
All right, try to fix it, but we need to see your pretty face.
Oh, hello. Yeah.
Just leave it the way it was before.
Yeah.
All right, just quickly say, mate, the chat's already going. We will be talking some big footy, but of course, it's a Sammy Taylor, always one of the first people. He's in the chat. Go the Blues. Peter V-Bagger, no winners this week, just quietly. 2 losers and 2 draws.
That is a bit weird.
It is weird. Oz is in the chat. Yeah, you're right. It should say 23, not 22. Well done, Oz, man. Well done for picking that. That was a little bit of an Easter egg, and you are the winner of the Easter egg, mate. You get an Easter egg on the live show because you found it. Well done. Jay, welcome. Lou Felino, always in there. What a week, mate. Tell me about it. Gorkan's in there. Great manager of the Sporting Globe. We've got we will be talking about that, and I'll let you. We'll be talking about that surely. Enzo Valentino's always in there. How are you, mate? Yeah, make sure you get your tickets now. We'll be talking about that. Yeah, 100%. We've got Matula's in there. How are you? Rocco Mortal, how's that Bloods culture? It's slowly not that good this week. We got Matt in there. How are you, mate? Yeah, that's true. Everyone thought Curnow would be one of those players, but he seems to be. You know what? Curnow has never been in trouble. Never. The only time he ever was in trouble was before he got drafted, drink driving, right, as a kid, and that's it. He's never, like, as much as you say about Curnow, he's never been in trouble. So there you go, man. Got Nick in there. How are you, mate?
Trouble.
What's that?
Playing at Carlton's trouble.
Not anymore.
Just because he's not there.
Not anymore. Yeah, whatever. Not anymore. Good evening, Robert Galicchio. Well, who else we got here? Matt's in there. How are you, mate? Dane Swan is a loser saying, I talked about this yesterday. Dane Swan, what a fucking loser that bloke. But I reckon he's just rage baiting. Don't worry about him. We've lost Thing. He'll be back. What's this one here? That's me as an Eagles fan for the past few years. All right.
Referring to that
he's
video.
back. There he is. He's back. We've got also, we got Jay. We still got a few people in there. All right, let's get into this before we start. First of all, thank you very much. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our sponsor, Top Dog Liquor. Thank you.
Get a little punch.
Lyndon Hosking, Commonwealth medalist, Olympian, for sponsoring the show. Make sure you get down to the British and American if you're going for a drive down Bendigo. And also get your tickets for the big day out. Andrew Walker, Cody Walker. You get to meet and greet the next superstar of the competition, David Rhys-Jones, toughest man in footy, Ryan Houlihan. Mate, he was the original Silk. We get all good up there. Starts at 3 o'clock, goes on all day and night. General Chicken Company, they'll be supplying food all day, drinks at bar prices. This is going to be a day to remember, and it's going to be a good day. It's a good way. I was saying this, man, it's a good day just to get down there and have a drink and say goodbye to the footy here, regardless of what happened. Yeah, man, because we're all mates. Even Mick Sacker, he's got his
ticket,
mate.
I'm there, mate.
Man.
Oh, good.
I'm coming with 2 diehard Carlton supporters. So
I love it. We're gonna sit back and have a drink, Mick, and talk about the year that just went by. We might still be there, mate.
There you go.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Remember that show? That was the season that was, Rocco. That was the season.
Yeah, there was that. They used to do that on the grand final eve, wasn't there? They used to play non-stop footy, man.
Yeah.
And they used to get quarters from all over the place, man. That's right. That was the season that was. That's exactly right. So that's it, man. Yeah, everyone. Carl's is in there. How are you, Carl's? So ultimate greatness. He's another great Collingwood. Well, I wouldn't say great
legend.
Just say a good Collingwood person there. How are you, mate? Thanks for joining. Joanne's in there. How are you? Yeah, this is going to be good. Yeah, well, I am excited. Unlike some people in the panel here, I'm excited about footy, mate. I'm excited about footy, man. They've that's what they decided to do. Make it the top 10. I accept it with open arms. So let's get into this because we've got some serious talk before we go. So let's get into this one here. Now, the big news this week was, first of all, Carlton securing a spot, then securing their coach. And you thought, that's it. That's what we're doing this week. But then the Swans decided to do a finals free-fall and put a spanner in the works, didn't they? It all blew up pretty much Monday and then Tuesday, and a lot of it's come out today. Now, before we get into this, I just want to tell everyone in the chat and everyone, we will not be discussing what happened, what allegedly has happened. I don't really care what has happened. And just due to some respect to the players, the families, even the victims and all that, we don't know what's happened. So I don't want to be talking about that. It's all speculation until it comes out. The Swans and the police and the AFL can deal with that. I don't really care about that, and I'm not going to get involved, right? Because we don't know, right? But what we can talk about is the Sydney Swans and what this means for them. Now, as far as we know, what's happened is they will all be suspended for the rest of the year. So they will not be selected for the rest of the year. So they won't be playing finals. What does this mean for the Sydney Swans? What does this mean for the players? What does this mean for their finals hope? I mean, all of that is up in arms now. We just don't know what's going on, man. So they've absolutely, whatever the case is, the season I think is done for them. I don't think they can win it from there, especially with the players that are involved. Probably maybe three of their top 7 or 8 players is going to be out, so and then a couple of others. So this means they're done. Good for Carlton because they could finish lower on the ladder, which means we get a higher draft pick. So I always try to look at the good side of life here, man. It helps us with our picks, but it is a shame that these players couldn't just go back to their room knowing that like what's coming up, finals, man. You got your club, you got your fans, you got your family all relying on you. So who knows what happened, but all I know is this Sydney team is now in shambles, man, and I reckon their season is over. I don't even think they'll win this week, to tell you the truth. I don't know how they can get out of this, man. The coach would be all over the place. The players will be all over the page, let alone just not having those players there.
It's funny, Rocco, from their odds were from $8 to win the flag now to $35.
Of course, man. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, responsibly, but yeah, that's some massive changes in the odds there, isn't it? From $8 to $35 apparently. So, yeah.
Lions definitely now go into more favoritism with Fremantle. They'll be right up there now. Straight sets will be great for Carlton. They'll finish 6th, and we will get pick 13, which would probably secure Cody Walker then for us. So that's pretty good for us on our things, yeah. But it is a shame. It is a shame for the players because I believe, right, if it all comes out that it's all true and all that, whatever the allegations were, if it does come out, because they are innocent until proven guilty, right? if it all does come out and it's true, I think it's over for these players. They will never see another footy again.
Yeah, spot on, Rocco. I mean, I just don't understand how these elite players or, these professionals these days are still hanging out to 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning and still partying and so forth and drinking. And I thought these guys were more, professional to not be able to do that. And these days, the media, there's cameras, there's so much vision of what these elite players are doing. You can't get away with things like this anymore, Rocco. So I don't know what's going on, but it's certainly gonna hurt the Sydney Football Club this year, especially the finals. And their culture is certainly going to sting them. So, yeah, I'm just disappointed that players don't really consider, the repercussions of it going out at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning and partying and drinking and carrying on. So, it's sad to see that these players haven't switched on yet.
Does this say a lot about their leadership? So, Heaney and Blakey especially, maybe Warner's a bit younger, but he's still be in the leadership thing. I mean, these are leaders of the club. Like, I can't believe that these people haven't said, right, it was a late game. Let's go and have a drink, have something to eat, and let's go back to bed. You know what I mean? I can't believe that these leaders were the ones who probably, probably instigated it. Who knows, but they were there. You think that these are the leaders. Maybe they're not the leaders we thought they were,
Yeah. Yeah. It is a shame. For all involved, and as you said, Rocco, we shouldn't be speculating too much. There's someone in the chat, Rocco, that's going into details. You probably better keep an eye on that, man.
If anyone says anything on there, I'm not gonna put it up there. I mean, the chat can say whatever they want, but just be careful again, man. We shouldn't be speculating on this stuff, man. I know everyone's heard stuff. I don't want to be speculating on stuff. All we can talk about now is what we know about the Sydney Swans and what punishment they've got at the moment and what can happen in the next week, 2-3 weeks. You know what I mean? So that's all we can talk about. That's all I want to talk about. I don't really care about the other one. There are victims involved. There are families involved. Who are we to start talking about this? So let's all be like in the chat. Come on, let's all be like. Let's be adults about this, and let's have a serious discussion about where the Swans. I think this could set them back years. This could set them back years, man, because sponsors are going to be, worried about jumping on. You know what I mean? The footy club players going to want to go there. You know what I mean? I don't know. Do families, do they want their kids to go there? A bit of that happens. I mean, you copped a bit of this. Mark when with Essendon, when all that stuff happened with the drug stuff. I mean, parents didn't want their kids to go there. It takes time to rebuild this trust.
Yeah, certainly will, Rocco. But allegations again, so we just don't know exactly what's going to go in the future. But yeah, I'm more disappointed, really, to be honest. What I was saying before about players being out so late. I thought there was a curfew. Wasn't there a curfew these days that players couldn't drink? They couldn't go out certain times of the day or the night. I'm not sure. I thought there was a bit of a curfew with players.
I think there is. They've all got their curfews. The thing is, they can't fly back at night in Sydney because the airport's got a curfew. They close at 10:30, I think. So that's why they couldn't fly back at night. So apparently, the coach and that, there's no curfew for them, but they went out. They had, something to eat. They had a few drinks, hanging around. All good with them, nothing to see here with them, But the players would have had a curfew. I'm sure that the team would have had a curfew for them, they finished. They probably said 2 o'clock, make sure everyone's in bed by 2 o'clock, They're still going at 7 o'clock in the morning, you know what I mean? So I'm sure there was a curfew, and they broke all the rules. They broke the drinking. I'm sure they broke some worse rules, but the main, the rules that they broke the drinking, they broke the curfew, and this is why they've been suspended, by the club. And look, I think the Swans have done exactly the right thing. You have to suspend these players for the rest of the year. You have to. until the investigation gets sorted out.
Yeah, there's no excuses, guys, as well, because I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if you might get a couple of young players that might break that curfew, but what's more disappointing is that you got these players, these leaders. You're saying Rocco with Heaney and Blakey and
Warner and Blakey.
These guys are leaders. These guys are great players. You know what I mean, and great leaders. So for them to be doing this type of shit, to be honest, is pretty sad, mate. It's going to certainly again affect the club going forward, 100%.
And how could they even go back? I mean, Lou's right. The rest of the team's going to be so pissed off at them. There are a couple of players there that are last opportunity to win a flag. Their last chance. You know what I mean? They could have now ruined this opportunity because really the chances of them winning the flag now are almost gone, right? I don't think they can do it anymore. They'd be pissed off, you know what I mean? I mean, Peter asked, could the 5 players be traded next year? I mean, who would want them?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want him at my club. I'll tell you right now. I think Heaney is one of the best players out there. I love Heaney.
Yeah.
I'll probably take him out of everyone at Sydney. I just love him. You know what I mean? But I don't want him at our club anymore. Well, there you go. Bo says there was no curfew. Well, there you go. There's no curfew. But there'd still be like some sort of understanding between them that you shouldn't be out at 5:30. Like, there should still be an understanding by these players. You're in interstate. Everyone's got a bloody camera. You shouldn't be out till 5:30, man. That's it. Curnow will want to come back to Carlton. I don't think so. He was one of the good boys, man. He went home. It could, as I said, man, this could ruin them for years. The crowd attendance, who knows, man, what the crowd attendance going to be, man. I don't know how this is going to – it's going to be interesting in the next 3 or 4 weeks what's going to happen, you know what I mean, with crowds and that. I'm sure the crowd will always support the team. Exactly. They are expected to know better.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, man. Like, they'd be shattered. And, I mean, they've all got wives and girlfriends too, these people, so – what are you doing, mate? What are you doing? That's all I got to say. That's all I would say to him. What are you doing?
Yeah. Too late now. What's done is done, and it's going to be a free-for-all, mate. Media, everything. It's just going to be a circus from now.
It just gets worse because every minute there's something new coming out. You know what I mean? And then even if things aren't true, they stick. You know what I mean? This is the whole thing now. Rumors go out. They just stick. You know what I mean? I mean, they're young men. I say they're young men, but also then you think about it, like these are, mid-20s to 30-year-old men. When do we stop calling them kids anymore?
Yeah.
When do we start doing that? You know what I mean? We're expected to stand up. Like, I expect my son to act like a man. You know what I mean? And then when are we going to stop, like, cuddling them, like saying, they're just kids, you know what I mean? Like, I understand they're young, so they're going to make some decisions, but also they've had a better opportunity than most people, and they've had more training for the media and what's out there than any of our kids ever have and ever will be, right? They've had this training, knowing what's dangerous out there, what not to do, what to do. They've had this training, So sometimes I think about it, I go, I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to give everyone just an easy way out. Like, why should they get an easy way out? You know what I mean? All right, so they got a little bit harder, of course they're in the spotlight and all that. They got a lot of money. I get it. But still, they're men, mate. When are we going to stop saying that they're kids?
Exactly, man. It just seems like these guys, they're in their 20s. Us as older gentlemen, we look at them and, subconsciously we're thinking to ourselves, oh, these guys are grown men, but they are kids compared to us, yeah? And you notice that when you're right up next to them sometimes in real life, you look at their faces and you think, fuck, how young is this guy, man? Like even guys like in their late 20s, players in their late 20s. But that doesn't give them a free ride. They're young guys, albeit immature, on a lot of money that guys of their age would only dream about earning 500 G's a year to run around chasing a ball, and they get a lot of perks and a lot of attention and a lot of opportunities for them arise just because they're playing AFL, and they get all the media training and all that sort of stuff and all the help, but then this happens and you think to yourself, mate, really, you can't.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And look, Lone Wolf, thanks for the $2. He's 30. He's not a kid.
Yeah.
This bloke's an experienced man, mate. This is what he is, man. At 30, man, like kids. Kids and a mortgage and all that, you know what I mean? Like, again, like I do feel sorry for him in some sense. You know what I mean? But in other, I think, come on, bro, man. Like, seriously, you're probably thrown away your career. They're probably thrown away their career, you know? So Bryce was a rookie. Doesn't make it right either way, but absolutely shit house by the likes of Heaney and for his girlfriend. 100%, man.
And it's also the club, man, all right? I've noticed a lot of things in the chat saying, there's no curfews, whatever. Look, man, a professional sporting organisation, after the game, they should be showered and they should all have to go to a designated place where the team is, where they're staying. There should be no
all together.
Straight after a game, they should not be getting up to any crap like that. Yeah,
I agree, man. After the game, they should all go together somewhere, have something to eat, closed off. You know what I mean, mate? Closed off. You know, you want to do your shit, you do it in the off season, mate. Yeah. And then whatever happens, you know. But that's how it should be. I think they fucked up. I think a lot of clubs are going to learn from this, man. Going into state, I guarantee I'm telling you now, players aren't going to be going out on their own anymore. I guarantee you, mate. This is going to teach all the clubs a lesson.
Yeah, and I think Sam Mitchell's come out saying that he's spoken to his players already about, watch what you do out there, blah, 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 blah. So it's going to certainly affect the other clubs. They'll speak about it a lot more. But saying immaturity and still young, mate, I was married at 27. I had my first child at 30, mate. So, that's maturity there. So, look, I mean, Sydney culture, 40 years, since I've known the Bloods, mate, they've had a massive, strong following and the culture, and I reckon it's gonna hurt them, mate, this culture. I think it's going to hurt them a lot, mate. So,
100%.
We've been a proud club for the last 40 years since I've kind of seen the Sydney Swans out there.
They've had that culture, haven't they? Always. The Bloods culture, mate. Since the 80s, since they were shit house and they changed, mate. They've had that culture, man. It's all about winning and they've got a great culture. And I'm sure they have. I'm sure, it still has. Let's not – this isn't going to – we shouldn't taint the whole club for this. This is some individuals that have done it. You know what I mean? And Rocco Morto's 100% right. Unfortunately, kids look up to these clowns. And this is the problem too. This is what everyone talks about, the clubs and that. And this is why they're so strong on these sort of things, because your kids look up at them as heroes. They got their posters on the wall. They haven't got their dad's poster on the wall. That's who their heroes should be. You know what I mean? But they haven't. They got their sporting heroes. You know what I mean? So, it's what else we got here? So anyway, there's a few comments here, but so look, I don't think there's not much more. I think more of a come out. It's a bit disappointing, but as I said, on the Sydney side of it, I reckon it's ruined their finals hope at the very least. They're done. I don't think they can continue on anymore, especially losing those players. And now with everything going on, I just don't think you can. They'll have their minds on it. I mean, small things affect teams. You know what I mean? Let alone this sort of stuff. Man, this will get worse. Like, this is the start of it. This will build into even worse, you know? So that's it. Yeah, it is a good time not to be. I kind of feel sorry for the Swan supporters too, man, because they're on probably the verge of at least a prelim. You know what I mean? And that could be up in tatters too now. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put them Barca to still make the prelim because they get a home final. But it's going to be hard without those players there, man. They're free, especially Warner, Heaney, and Blakey. They're fucking 3 key players. You know what I mean? They're huge, man. These players.
Who has Sydney got this week?
North Melbourne.
North over there at home.
In Sydney. Yeah.
Yeah, in Sydney. Yeah.
Interesting watch.
Can I have my say quick then? I do also, I know we're not going into this stuff. I do just want to take a moment to acknowledge the allegations and just say about they're allegations. We don't know what's actually happened, but stuff like that has been spoken about is obviously not on at any time. We're absolutely against it. It's really terrible. It's really upsetting news. And first and foremost, there should be more concern about the victims potentially in this case. I think that's something that's been missed a bit in this. It's really disappointing that we still have things like this happening in society. And that's all I'll say on that anyway.
The thing is, we don't know. They're only allegations at the moment. So
as I said, there are allegations. I do just want to make that point that stuff like that is not on at any cause. It's definitely not something I stand for. I know you guys would absolutely agree with me. That's all. We'll leave it at that.
100%.
As for the stuff, I actually want to give the AFL credit. Firstly, this was the right decision. They came out, they heard what's happened with these 5 players, and they've banned them for the rest of the season. It's not often that the AFL do things the right way. But
I think it was the Sydney Swans, man. I don't think it was the AFL. I think it was the Sydney Swans themselves.
The AFL. It was in conjunction with the AFL. They both worked
I think
together.
they only wanted to give them a couple of weeks, I heard, and it was the Swans who put their foot down and said for the rest of the year. That's what I heard. So, but who knows?
I haven't heard that, to be honest. But again, it's not often that we get to say the AFL have done a half decent job at something. So I did want to say that, but it's absolutely the right decision. They can't play for the rest of the season. Second thing, as you've all mentioned, this is pretty much tanked their season. I don't think they're going to do much now. I mean, you're talking about 3 guys who were potentially going to be in the All-Australian team now out. Like, that's a quarter of your best team going into finals. It's going to be really tough for them to make it through. What else was I going to say? Forgotten now. Third thing is just the stupidness in general. Again, as you guys have spoken about. And Matthew Pavlich today said that there was not any curfews. They don't have it. That's ridiculous. There is no reason why they should be out doing this stuff at this time of night. Whatever they're getting up to, I don't know. But they should not be allowed out in the first place. That's ridiculous. They were only in Melbourne because of the curfew at the Sydney airport. They're only here for a night. They're meant to get an early flight back home on Monday. They were meant to be at training on Monday afternoon, I'm assuming, to do their recovery. So they should not be allowed out. It should be like, hey, we're still locked in. We've done our job. We've won our game. Let's keep preparing because we're still in a season. The season's not done. But they're going out and doing all these things and nothing good happens. Whatever that is, I don't know. But stupid decision, and I can't believe that they'd allow that. The last thing I do want to say, and maybe, I'm not sure if you guys want to talk about it, but introducing a stand-down rule, is that something that we want to see? Do we need to implement something like that into the game when there's investigations like this? I know some people have spoken about Tanner Bruin in his situation from last year. I was hoping maybe Lucas was on. He might know a little more than I. But one that I remember was Noah Bolter from last year. It was right when I was starting on this show. It was all kicking off. He had the stuff going on, and we still let him play despite the fact that he literally wasn't allowed to travel interstate, and he had to be back in his house by 9 o'clock. Now that we've seen something, again, pretty serious, do we need to start implementing a sort of stand-down rule for cases going forward?
Look, so the NRL do it, don't they? They've got to stand. Right. So, yeah, why not? I mean, if there's an investigation going, I think there should be. You can't. I don't think you should be playing. I think until it all gets sorted out, I think there should be a stand rule because it affects the AFL. Because then you can't be playing and then you get charged for these things. How's it going to look? So, Sam, if it gets all clear, then you're back to playing and it's all good. So, yeah, I think there should be. Why not?
Yep, no,
and then someone said here, like, Georgie, why have a curfew? Fuck me, it's not a prison. It's not a prison. Disagree. It's not that, man. Why do your kids have why do you give your kids a curfew? Because you know they don't know any better. That's why you give them the curfew. Because to go out and do all that, I mean, you've got to earn that trust. You know what I mean? So you're probably saying, yeah, but they've earned the trust. Yeah, but they haven't. You know what I mean? As a team, you've got the whole club sponsors to look after. You know what I mean?
And even with the curfew, it's not about, they're adults, they don't need a curfew. Even if they are adults, they'll go out to a pub because let's say there's no curfew. They'll go out to a pub and some dickhead will go up to them and start shit, and it's not even their fault. They're just standing there having a quiet drink, but people are idiots out there. They'll go up to them, and because there's no curfew, all of a sudden there's an all-in brawl. Yeah, that's why, because society is just not how we want it to be at the moment. There's idiots out there.
There you go. Georgie says curfew isn't that odd. He's laughing out loud. Really? Well, I wonder if Sydney are laughing now.
That's stupid.
You know what I mean? Like, you might say, oh, that's funny. But look, it happens, mate. You've got to protect your club, mate. You've got to protect them, man. And you know what? I've heard teams that have during the year, they've said no drinking. No drinking until we end of the year, and they don't drink. What's that? Are you trying to tell me now, oh, you shouldn't do that to adults first? They come up with some sort of curfew or some sort of rules within the team because they want to achieve the ultimate. They don't want anything to get in their way. Now this has got in their way.
Look, ultimately, it's their job as professional athletes. And whether they like it or not, part of their job is that they're going to be in the media and they're, to a certain level, celebrities. People know who they are. Anything that you do is going to be magnified like 100 times. Like if I go out late tonight and get up to whatever I do, you're not going to hear about it. But that's part of their thing. But as elite professional athletes, you have a responsibility to do things by the book and for your club. And if part of that means being restricted with things like curfew to make sure that you're living up to the standards and the expectations of your club and of your job as an athlete, that's what needs to be done.
Yeah, spot on there, Liam. Was there any drugs involved in this as well, boys? Because
there's rumours again, but I'm not going to get into that. There are rumours.
Oh, yeah, but they were saying that the club didn't even test the players, to see if they were.
No, that's a police thing. So who knows, man? I mean, a lot of things are going to come out a bit later on. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But all these again are all allegations. I know Tom Morris come out with a few things tonight. You know what I mean? So.
Well, I wouldn't listen to that blog ever, to be honest.
So, so the next day they drove back. The reason I think they drove back is so they avoid the airports and that. So they drove back in the morning.
Yeah, it was to avoid media attention. You're spot on.
Yeah, that's what I think was happening. There you go. I think Ultimate said the Pies, they might be the one I'm thinking about, has said a no drinking rule around the 2010 flag. There's nothing wrong with that. If you all get together and say, right, we've got this goal and this is what we're going to do, man, you know what I mean? Because we want to concentrate on it. I don't see anything wrong with it.
I think due to the fact that Rocco, it's close to the finals, maybe if it happened to one of the lesser teams towards the bottom of the ladder, you could probably understand that. But knowing that you'd be playing finals in the next couple of weeks, you'd think you'd be, hibernating more than anything else.
100%, man. As you said, this could be their last. This could be a lot of them's last chance to win a flag. You don't those opportunities far and few between, man. You don't risk it, you know what I mean? But again, this is about the leaders and that, and I'm sure the leaders of the coaches and that are all there. But I think all the players that night let not only themselves, the people that were with them, but also the club down. And that's right. When you're an elite AFL player who's in the public eye, you carry responsibility. Therefore, you must be careful. 100%, man. You've got to be careful when you get out there, especially these days. It's not like the 80s, no cameras, do whatever you want, and then you can get away with it because then it's he said it. Mate, now there's evidence everywhere, man. Like, mate, these players are going out to a pub and they're getting snapshots every 2 minutes. People are taking photos of them at the bar and, oh, look who I saw. You know what I mean? You do one little thing, then they've got you. You know what I mean? Like, but maybe I'm talking because I'm an older person now. You know what I mean? But so that's it. All right, listen. I reckon he's right. I reckon it's time to move on to that, and we talk about the first coach who's appointed. Here he is. I want to phrase you like I should. Fraser has been appointed. He was appointed, when was it? It would have been Monday, wasn't it? I think it was 2 days ago or yesterday. Can't remember anymore. I think it was yesterday. Might have been yesterday. Yeah, Tuesday it was too. It was yesterday. So good on. I think it's the right choice. He's the man for me. Mate, he's proved it all the way through, the way he presents himself, the way he's been coaching, the way he does his press conferences, the way he's changed the game plan, the way he's brought the team together. I really can't see any of the other coaches do a better job. Yeah, I'm wrapped. I wanted him from about 3 or 4 weeks ago at the start. I wasn't sure, but he's proved himself week in, week out. The bloke is like true professional. You can tell the way he presents himself. I love it. Even as I said, Mick, after that draw, first thing he said was, that was fucking shit. Like he demands, you know, like you could see. And then when he's at press conference, everything's just balanced. He's not over the top. He's just like talkers here. Even when we lost those games, the press conference was exactly the same. He's even said ever since then, we're winning these games. He said, we've still got a lot of work to do. We're not the finished product. He keeps saying it, you know what I mean? He's putting it into the team, you know, and as I could see, the team are responding not only on the field, but the way they're acting now. You look at them, even with that draw, I mean, there was a couple that were pumped, and they would be because you knew the 2 points was enough. You know what I mean? But you could see they were level-headed. We beat Richmond in round 2, and they were jumping around like they won a premiership. When now they're just being level-headed, and that's the coach. You know what I mean? That's the coach. That's also Graham Wright. You know, I think he's been a big part of this. And today there was also news that Greg Williams is stepping down as footy director. Best thing I've heard all day. Best thing I've heard all day. He never should have been there this year. Mate, the bloke, it's not all there. He's not doing the right thing. But these sort of things are happening now. They're getting rid of these people. They're putting the right people in place. The young kids are standing up. I think it's the right move, man. I think I'm wrapped that we got Fraser. And I think the Essendon win out of this. Because we got Fraser, I reckon now you've got a couple of candidates there that are really good coaches, man. But you'll probably fuck it up and get hurt anyway, right? But there's a couple of good in Graham and in Enright that are really good coaches. But I reckon Enright might end up at St Kilda, right? Because he's already there. But you got a good coach there in Graham if you want him, and apparently he done well. But as far as Curran goes, I'm wrapped in the thing, and I think getting him this week was the right thing to do. You can't go into a final series now and not know what's going on. They know they're in the final series. They know they want their man. Just get him, and that's it, man. And just at least now he can start preparing for next year too. Yeah.
Rocker, I wanted to ask you something. I actually spoke to a Carlton fan before I got here tonight, and
nice.
she made a really interesting point that it's a good decision to keep someone like Fraser in because he's already had the 12 weeks or whatever it is, actually building his game style and working with the players, earning their trust. So actually getting someone else in may impact that. They may be a fantastic coach and be able to do a really good job, but they don't have that existing relationship. Do you think that's part of the decision in the end that helped get Fraser over the line, apart from obviously the form and the great footy you have been playing?
I think that is part of the decision because now to get another coach in again and kind of start again would have been maybe set them backwards. I mean, they've already got a working formula here. You know what I mean? I mean, unless the other one was an outstanding candidate, yeah, I think it's the right decision. Why, you know, like, what is it? Wreck the apple cart, you know, what is it? What is that statement? Why are we disturbing the apple cart? You know what I mean?
What? I don't know what you're on about now.
There's another way. You're too young, but there's a saying. Someone will know it in the chat.
What?
Upset the apple cart.
Yeah, it's upset the apple cart. It's upset the apple cart, yeah. So why upset the apple cart? You know, it's rolling along nicely. You know, why are we going to upset it? We've got the man. I reckon he's a great candidate. I mean, they did say that regardless of the 13 weeks, he presented best out of all of them anyway, you know. But that could also be a bit of smoke and mirrors there, you know what I mean? They're going to say that, you know what I mean, because that's the man. But I think for the last 4 weeks, I reckon they've known.
Fair.
I reckon they've known that.
Wait, was it your show last night that I was watching, or somewhere else saying that like the other coaches that were going for the job are really unlucky not to get it? Was that you guys? I don't know. Yeah.
I think
I don't know.
I think our president said that in his little thing there. He said, you know, like, congratulate them. It's unlucky that they didn't get it. But apparently they presented well. I mean, Fourever was saying only 2 days prior that Enright had the job guaranteed. So apparently he presented really well, and Graham's presented really well too. You know what I mean? So I think there's a few good assistants out there that are going to be some good coaches. You know, thanks for the $5, Oz. Fraser was unlucky not to play in the winning grand final as a player for Collingwood. I see him become a great Carlton coach over the next few years. Yeah, he didn't play a premiership, did he, Mick?
No, he didn't. He was he was a number 1 draft pick in from what I remember, 1999, and he was always a little too skinny. Yeah, he'd get bashed around. But having said that, he still managed to. He may have played 200 games, and yeah, he was okay. I reckon we asked too much of him to ruck. He should have played more as a forward, but that's how it was. And he was like one
Cruiser,
of those players.
I reckon.
Sorry,
a bit like Cruiser. We put too much on that kid, man. We put too much on that kid, and it probably wrecks him at the end. Yeah. Yeah,
and he was just one of those unlucky players when Malthouse took over, and were halfway through that 2010 season. He made some big calls on 3 or 4 older heads, and he said, "You guys are out. I'm going with these guys." And then we just went great guns after that and won the flag. And yeah, but always been a good stalwart at Collingwood, and I am internally bleeding that he's at Carlton right now, and it looks like he's got the goods. Time will tell what happens, but you can't fault him so far. And
that's all you can do, Mick. Yeah. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. You can only do now. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. You don't know if any coach is going to succeed. You know, you just don't know. You know, but at the moment, he hasn't put a foot wrong, and it's rock the apple cart. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Don't rock the apple cart. This is for old timers, Liam.
It means don't ruin a plan or cause trouble, according to.
Yeah. That's right. It's already going well. Why are we going to?
Exactly. Confused me a bit, but Rocco Morris cleared it up. So
there you go.
Apple cart. Yeah. No, I don't think
so. Pretty happy. What about you, Mark? You always got something to say. What do you reckon?
I know. Well, congratulations to Fraser, mate. Look, it's well deserved. I mean,
yeah, 100%, 100%.
At the end of the day, I believe he was going to be the coach of the Carlton Football Club, mate. He's done some great things for you guys the last 10 to 12 weeks. And yeah, just again, I've probably said it a few times on the show before. It'd be interesting to see how you boys go now that he has been nominated the coach. And looking forward to next season to see you boys travel and see what happens. See what happens when he does get a bit of pressure under it. Because I reckon at this stage he's just letting it. He hasn't been under pressure, man. He's been a caretaker coach. Now this is the serious shit, mate. That's going to happen, and then we'll see exactly where he stands at this point.
I reckon he's less under pressure now because he's got 3 years now.
Yeah, he's got the 3 years, but look, anything can happen next year. Might lose a couple of games in a row, and all of a sudden the pressure comes through, and then we'll see how he retaliates towards that. But I will say something, Rocco. That obviously when teams are informed, which Carlton are, opposition teams will start working out the way you guys structure your game plan. So I just noticed against the Bulldogs that you boys didn't have it all your own way. So the clubs now will start to look at the way you guys are playing this type of brand, and I think this might be a concern heading into the finals. I think.
Can you just relax? It was one game.
The Bulldogs did prove it.
Can you relax, man? It was one game, and they didn't have us worked out, man. Other teams are doing exactly the same thing, bro. The only difference was, man, right? We fumbled a bit. We still try to play a game, and at the end of the day, you're making it sound like that we lost this game. We came back 2 or 3 times. We still played our brand of footy. We came back 2 or 3 times. We hit the lead, and then, wait a sec, and then we controlled the game 2 or 3 times in that last 10 minutes. So this thing about, after 3 quarters even, not even fucking a full game, right? Actually, half a game, because we had them in that last quarter. Last quarter was 50-50, right? After saying, you watched the game, of course, I knew you were going to say that. I was discussing it with the boys. Like, I read you like a book. Now they've worked you out. Have they? Have they worked us out?
I guess, when teams are informed, you end up becoming the hunted. So I think now clubs are going to start, paying a bit more attention to the way you guys
Of course they'll pay more attention, but we've got a game plan. You know what we're doing? You know what we're doing, Mark?
What Fraser's game plan will be once they work out.
You know what Fraser's game plan is? It's the meta. It's what every successful club is doing at the moment. It's no fucking secret. Don't think that Fraser's come up with this secret plan. It's no secret. All it is right, move the ball forward, go forward, play forward. Yeah, all it is now is your teammates are trusting each other. Like, if you actually watch the game plan, they're trusting each other. So now, all of a sudden, we don't look slow, do we? All of a sudden, our disposal's good, isn't it? Because we're playing the meta, as Mars says. We're playing the footy that everyone's playing, right? If you notice Carlton now, what they'll do is when they get the ball, when they're in, we're always going to be a contested beast. Even when we're losing, we're still one of the best contested sides. So that's never going to come out of our game, right? If you notice now, when we're about to get the ball, you'll see 3 or 4 players run forward, ready to receive the ball. That is trust in your teammates. There's your difference. It's not. What do you think Fraser's come up with this?
No, he's
brand new game plan that no one knows about.
No, he's obviously changed the game plan a little bit. His angles, the way the guys are kicking the ball a little bit differently.
Exactly. And what does Sydney do? What does Sydney do?
Yeah.
What does Brisbane do? What does Fremantle do? It's exactly the same thing. Yeah. The only difference with them is they've got some better players. They've got like half a dozen better players than us.
Correct.
That's
correct.
all.
And
that's stick 1 or 2. You stick a forward in that team, and then we become really damaging.
Yeah.
But all this, I don't want to hear it. All this, they've worked you out. Now it's all like, what a load of fucking rubbish, man. Yeah. Seriously.
I don't think Carlton's got the cattle at the moment, Rocco, to be that. And to be honest, I do know a few Carlton supporters out there, and they're saying, we made the wild card, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, really, Carlton, regardless of sacking the coach or not sacking the coach, whatever the case may be, they should have been a lot higher than expected to be.
But we weren't.
So there was no.
But we weren't.
Yeah, but well, that's right.
But we weren't, Mark. I know you say you're rubbish, but we weren't. Like you can say whatever you want. Oh, you should have won more than fucking 2 games. You should have won more than 2 games. So let me talk. I'll tell you something about that. You say that we should have, but you know what we lost at the end of last year, bro? You're just talking about Sydney losing their 3 players, right? We lost Kerno, TDK, and Silvani at the end of the year, man. Right? So don't say that you should have been there, right? Because we lost a lot of talent there. A lot. Look who we lost. We lost the Coleman medalist.
Yeah.
So where did you think we were going to fucking be? If you actually asked all of us, I picked us as 10th at the end of the year. Mars picked us as 12 or 14. But
that's exactly what I'm saying. You're in that position. You're in that position. So if you guys didn't end up being 10th or 9th this year and ended up going in the same track as what you were going earlier on in the year with Voss, it would have been a massive disappointment, right?
Of course it was.
So you are where you are. You're right where you are.
No, but we're not where we are because it's not. Because from round 9, it's a different season. Like we were 1-8, bro. And we barely beat Richmond. That's where we were at. 1-8, and now now on the AFL ladder in the last 11 games, we're probably the 2nd best side. So you can't say that's where you were supposed to be.
So you're the 2nd best side, right? So going into
I didn't say we're the 2nd best side. I said in the last 11 weeks, we are probably the 2nd most informed side, probably 3rd or 4th, because Brisbane and that are right up there too, right? But in form, mate, to come back from 1-9, 1-8, sorry. Mate, there's no way you could put this down and say, oh, this is where you were supposed to be. No, man. We had no coach and we were 1-8. This is a great performance, man. This is a fucking fantastic performance, mate. And we're playing like a fucking real team now, mate. And we not only that, look at Mick was talking about his youngsters that he's seen in the last few weeks and he's rapped about them. Look at our youngsters in the last 8 or 9 weeks. Look at our youngsters. Look at Jago. He's going to win the Rising Star. Look at Harry Dean. He could be the best young defender in the competition. He'll get 2nd, right? You got fucking Billy Wilson. You got Byrne now. You know what I mean? So it's not just this is where you should have been. We've seen heaps of improvement in the Blues, man. Not only in the game plan, but in our players.
I hope that Carlton continue improving.
Don't worry what you hope. Don't worry what we only hope. I don't give a fuck what you hope for. I don't give a fuck what you hope for. I really don't. I didn't come here now. I didn't come here now so that you could just rain on everyone's parade because you think you
this
think
is my opinion.
Just about you, right?
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it here. You wouldn't like it. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it here.
One of the great fucking weeks in Carlton, right? For us, after the year that we've had, shut up. After the year that we've had, right, to start off with, it's one of the great seasons. I don't need you now to try to rain on the parade to get a laugh. Do you understand?
That's my opinion.
No, you are, because all it is, we'll see. That's where you should have been. I'm worried that Footscray did that. Shut the fuck up. Man, you just got beaten by a fucking another 60 points. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your shit.
I reckon
if you're not going to fuck, I'm not going to let you rain on our parade. I'll tell you now, I won't let you talk. I will not let you rain on our parade. You understand?
Prove me wrong.
You understand? I'm telling you now. Do you understand?
Okay, enjoy it.
We'll leave it at that. Yeah, enjoy it. I will enjoy it. At least I watch footy and I don't watch some fucking merda they use play. You got no coach, no players, no administration. You're the worst drug-affected club in the history. Do not talk about Carlton.
Allegations.
You understand? Good. Liam, have you got anything to say before we move on?
I did have another proper question. I'm not going to raise anything. Don't worry.
You're not going to say, like this, it's all doom and gloom. It's all doom and gloom. You're not going to try to drag everyone down to your fucking level? No, all right, good. I'm happy.
Doom and gloom. I was going to ask with Fraser, just from what you've spoken about, do you think that he's made more of an impact tactically in how you guys are playing, or is it because, like you said, that he's given the players confidence in how they play? Has that been more of a shift?
It has to be both. It has to be both. Tactically, you could see they're playing differently. You could see, but I think it all comes down to the confidence and playing those young kids, because they're the ones doing it now. Like, I think all teams want to play the way we're playing, or the way Collingwood plays, or the way all teams want to do that. Like, that's the way you play the modern game. You move the ball quickly. You're always moving it forward. You know what I mean? You're handballing, kicking forward. You're always trying to cut angles. I think so. I think it's more in playing the kids and letting them play their sort of game. You know what I mean? And giving them some responsibility, because that's who's taking the responsibility. Look at Harry Dean. Harry Dean is a fucking superstar already. He's a fucking superstar. His aggression has changed our whole mentality. You look at it, half the team now has got aggression. Even Sam Walsh looks like he's aggressive now. Like, they really want the ball. And I think it's all because I've said this, Dean and Byrne has changed the mentality of the Blues. Before that, we used to turn around and go, who's got CUNT in our team? Oh, maybe Newman, maybe Cowan. You know, now we're looking at him, we're going Burns. You know, Cowan's tough. You know, you got Dean. You know what I mean? Even Walsh is starting to look like he's starting to get aggressive. McGovern's getting aggressive. And that makes a huge difference. You know that, Mick, that aggression, how far does it bring you into the season?
Of course.
Mate, you know, like you've got the Maynard, you've got half a dozen there that are just animals, you know.
And another aspect to answer Liam's question for Carlton's resurgence and with Fraser's emergence is the selection integrity, which I can only envy coming from my point of view. Because, you know, some clubs have players that they're just gifted games week in, week out. And Fraser hasn't done that. You know, you got Zach Williams and Adam Saad that can't get a game because, you know, Voss would have played him straight away. But in this new system, no. Even 100%. If you are performing in the reserves, you don't suit what I want to do. So you're in the reserves. I don't care how much money you're on. And that is admirable.
Just them two players, that's $2 million there playing in the reserves, and he won't put them in. I'll tell you another one that's a little bit out of favour is Ollie Hollands. He's not playing him. He's getting 29 possessions. He must be doing something wrong that he doesn't like, because he's not playing him. He's not playing him. And I love that. I love that. You know, another one, you know, Wiedering, under Voss, he would have played last week when they put him in the reserves. He would have put him straight back in, because that's what he used to do. But what did he do? He went, no, I trust my team. I'm going to give you some time in the reserves, and then you come back, you know. And you're absolutely 100% right. The selection integrity is huge, because it's lifting everyone. It's lifting everyone. You look at someone like Hewitt. He got put in the reserves by Voss. Mate, he killed it in the reserves. He didn't complain. He didn't do nothing. He played 2 or 3 quality games. In comes Fink, puts him back in. All of a sudden, he's probably been one of our best midfielders in the last 11 weeks, right? That shows that, hey, selection integrity. You know what I mean? Like, and there's so many others that have been selected, right? Akers is another one. He started in the reserves this year. Couldn't get a game, man, but killed it in the reserves. Was getting 30, kicking goals. Eventually got in. He was probably our best player on the weekend. You know what I mean? So I totally agree with you. That's huge. And that, I think when you haven't got selection integrity, it goes through your whole side, because they're not happy, mate. They're not happy about it, you know? Yep, we also did get Mark of the Year. That was a great mark. He won't be playing this week either. That was a good mark. And you know what was good about that mark? Forget about the mark. On one leg, he went back and kicked the goal. on one leg, man, that shows toughness by the player. Man. Fucking loved it. Loved it, you know. So, mate, I'm on top of the world. And to talk about like this wild card, I know your thoughts on it, Mick, but it's there now. It's there. That's what they've decided to do. They've decided to make it top 10. At the start of the year, I was the same, man. I think it should only be top 8, you know. But now that it's there, what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
I know. It's there. I understand exactly what you're saying, man. But I want you to also understand, Rocco, and I'm not starting a fight here. I'm just saying, all right, yes, you did sack Voss and it turned your season around. But you have to take a season in its entirety. And in the entire part of the season, the 23 games, you have to include the first part. You can't just say that never happened, because it did. And it was part of this season. And so at the end, finally at the end of that, a finish of 9th and 10th. All right, you were in fantastic form in the second half of it, but that's why we've got seasons, yeah? They're not fucking 10-game seasons. They're 23-game seasons. You got to take it all into account.
I totally agree that it's a 23 week season. I totally agree with that, because that's what it is. It's like it's a 4-quarter effort, right?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you kick 1 goal in the first half and then you kick 18 goals in the second half, right? You don't go, oh, you know, we've got to look at that whole. Yeah, you look at the first part of the game, or you look at the first part of the season and go, what happened there? What happened there? Like, we had a coach who couldn't coach, right?
Yeah.
We had a team that wasn't happy. We lost 3 big players. So that's what you're saying. So then you go, rightio, there's your first part. I understand. But in the second part, I'm looking at the second part now.
Yeah.
Like, forget about the first part. What do you want me to, like, what do you want to look at the first part? I don't get it. Like, nothing went right. We had the shit coach, right? That no one really wanted, right? You could see he couldn't coach. He couldn't get the best out of the players. We weren't playing the young kids. So all I'm looking at now is the next part of the season where we turned it around and saying, rightio, you know, so seriously, what can you get out of the first half of the season, Mick?
You can't get nothing out of it, but it was part of the season, and it must be included in your assessment.
How?
At the end,
if you had a different coach, right? You had different players, right?
Yeah.
How can you make that part of the assessment?
Because it exists and it's part of the season. And
but we turned it around. So now you look at the second half of the season. Like, it was a different
turn it around before. Turn it around before. Why'd you have to wait till fucking halfway?
But we just said it. We didn't have the right fucking pieces there.
Yeah. Look.
All right. So what you're trying to say is, do you look at last year then?
Yeah.
Because last year we had
That's a different season, but that's a totally different season last year.
And the first half is like a different season. It's a different coach, me.
Yes. Look.
If it was one coach, like, for example, the 23 season when we made it, right, where the first half and then we won 9 out of 10 games in the second half to make the final, right? I can understand there. You go, let's look at the whole season. What happened? The same players, the same coach. To me, it's like a completely different fucking season, man.
Yeah. And let's say the AFL, look, they have introduced these wild cards. It is what it is. And let's say they didn't introduce it and you don't make finals. We're looking at this thing whole pretty differently, aren't we?
It's definitely, it definitely puts something extra on the season, right? But for me, if we finished 9th after where we were, for me, that's still a good season for Carlton from where we were. So it's all about where we were for me, you know, like we were, mate, you think about when we were 1 and 8, they were talking about you're never going to see anything for 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to do this, you're shit. Look, all your players are shit. You've got no depth. You know, that's all the talk. And now we've turned to say, even if we didn't make the final, even if we didn't make the top 10 now, I still say to me, I'm happy with the season. Right?
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean, Mick, I'm satisfied, because I know what you're going to say. It's about winning premierships and that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But every team's in a different position.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? We're in a different state of mind now. Like, we were fucking in the doldrums, Mick, mate. Seriously, bro.
Yeah.
Right? And now we're here. What you're trying to say that's not a good season for Carlton. It's not a success, no. But it's a fucking, mate, they've done everything I've asked them to do. They changed the coach, they changed the game plan, they played the young kids, they got a new game style, you know, they've been aggressive. What else do I want from this team? Even if we lose this week and the week after, it's still a good season for Carlton. It's a stepping stone. Let me put it there.
It's a satisfying season, considering you've had a shocking start to the season.
We were shit. Say it.
And all I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, when assessing a season, you can't just say, "Oh, the second half." You have to acknowledge the whole season.
You can't when you've got different coaches, man, and you've changed everything.
Well, the thing is, Rocco, why didn't it just change earlier? You know,
I don't know
then you could say, okay, we're fucking sixth now, but you're not. You're fucking ninth.
But I can tell you why.
And you're only playing finals because the AFL decided to join to introduce this gimmick wild card thing, which makes the season look so much better now.
Forget about the finals. Forget about finals, right? Just let's forget about it. I'm going to take the ladder completely out of it, right?
Yeah.
Right. I can tell you why it didn't work. I can tell you why it didn't work. We had a shit coach, right? That shouldn't have been there, right? The decision should have been made earlier, right? We lost 3 big names, right? And we were still playing junk. We were just playing junk players in there. Then I look at the second half and then you say, oh, you have to assess. All right, I'll assess the first. You want me to assess the whole season? I'll assess the whole fucking season. The first half was a disaster. And then we put things in place to change it, right? Coach, system, players, aggression, right? And then we've turned the season around, right? That's how I assess it. Yeah, all right, it's a whole season, you know? But again, man, look, we were 1-8. I don't still people how you don't understand that. We were 1-8 and we were looking to finish on the bottom of the ladder.
Look,
I get what you're saying, and you're saying that for maybe your side. I get it. You talk about your side. What's that?
You finish off the season well, mate. You've got to give credit.
100%. But look, I understand for Mick, if you say your season, you have to assess your whole season, right? Because you've got the same coach, you've got the same system, the same players, you know, you assess your season. But for us, it feels different. It feels different. It feels like 2 halves for us.
Look.
At the end of the day, you're right. You know, when we finish this at the end of the day, right? Well, wherever we finish, right? Just say we lose our first final, right? And we finish 10th. At the end of the day, that's where we finish 10th. That's what we are. I agree. That's what we are. But only 12 weeks ago, we were 18th. And it's a stepping stone, Mick. It's a stepping stone for next year. Now, I know that. I know, like, even Fraser says that we're not the finished product, but at least I've got something to work on now. We had nothing to work on fucking 12 weeks ago, like zero. Like, I hated everyone. We wanted to get rid of the captain. We wanted to get rid of Weedy. Like, we hated everything. Everything was just going wrong for us, you know? So, look, I'm not going to. I'm happy. I'm happy with where my team's going, and I'm happy about the future now. It looks promising for me. It looks promising.
My point was, all I'm saying is, you know how I feel about the wild card round. Now, let's say at the start of the season, my team was second, and then we dropped off, and we kept dropping off, and we end up finished fucking 10th, but we're still playing a wild card, but it's a shocking season because we were once second and now we've gone all the way to 10th. But your situation is totally different. It's the opposite of that.
Went the way, other way around.
So you guys can look at this wild card with anticipation
so we can look at it as a positive. You know what I mean? Because it could be a positive. But if you went your way, went from 2nd to 15th, it becomes a negative.
Yes.
I'll give you an example, Mark. Remember when you were fucking 2nd on the ladder a few years ago? Yeah. And then you ended up like wherever you ended up finishing? That's a negative.
Yeah.
That's a negative for you. You know what I mean? Because you went from there to there. Then you go, oh, fuck, what happened in the season? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you go the other way, you have to go, yeah, why didn't we do it earlier? You know, why? If we had Fraser from the start, maybe we would have won 2 or 3 more games and we'd be in the top 4 now. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we're not. We're not.
And Mick, to be honest, Carlton were in pretty much the same position as what Essendon were, you know, at one stage. You know what I mean? I think
100%. Essendon, Richmond, and I remember we were fighting for the bottom of the ladder at one stage.
Correct. Yeah. And you know, and both coaches were pretty much sacked at around about the same time. And obviously Carlton took advantage of that, and Essendon actually didn't improve from our caretaker coach. So, you know, sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't work for you. It didn't certainly work for the Essendon Football Club.
I think our list is better, and that's why we had a better chance of improving. You know what I mean? So that was
no one predicted Carlton to win like so many games in a row. Yeah, so you know, it
no one. If anyone says they predicted this, they're fucking lying. No one predicted this. It's all fucking like it was just really. There's got to be a study done on this. How the fuck do you turn a club around that quick? Like from the first.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen an interim coach turn a team around like that.
100%.
I'd be interested to see if anyone in the chat can bring up another example, because there surely there isn't a turnaround like this from an interim coach.
Mid-year. To make finals, what would have been the odds when he came in that we were going to make the wild card? The odds would have been 100 to 1. I predicted it. You did not. You predicted it at the start, and you didn't predict it when we were fucking 1-8.
They love it, man. Everyone, when shit happens, everyone said, I said this fucking 10 weeks ago.
Everyone's I love it. Now everyone's coming out with, I did this, I did that. Carlton will win the flag. There you go. Big 7% around. Nah, Paul Roos never did this mid-season. Like what happened was he had a good, I don't know, like 6-7 weeks. And then they were going to get Terry Wallace. And then they ended up getting him, and then he turned it around in the next few years. But in mid-season, no chance. See, that was a bad one, Rocco, when we made the preliminary and lost 60-0. No, we never lost 60-0 in the preliminary. We lost it the year after.
That was the first half, wasn't it?
No. No, when we made the preliminary, we were leading.
That was the other final the year
after. That
was
the second final 6 of that. I don't want to think about that. That's got to go out of our minds. That was the worst. Hey, we've said this, and especially Andy and that said Voss should have been sacked at halftime there.
After that one,
100%, man. You're 60-0, you've got to be sacked. You can't be. Yeah. If your team can't score 1 point, you've got to sack them.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going because we got other stuff. What else do we have? Do we have anything else? Ranger finals. We've talked about all that, and that's it. Is there any news on? We'll go to Essendon quickly. Is there any news on your coaching?
No. Well, I think
do you know anything?
No, I think they delayed it for another week. I thought they were going to announce it last week, but not quite sure. People were speculating that possibly McVeigh might have been a candidate for it as well. So
I don't think they need to. You know why? Because now Carlton's got their coach, so you're not fighting for anyone, right? It's only you guys. It's only Essendon now that you know you got those 4 candidates, and you got one game. Like, what benefit would you get out of announcing him this week?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Just play your last game and then announce him the week after, and that's it.
Yeah. That's exactly
and start again, man, because that's it, man. Like, if you announce him this week, what's that going to do?
Yeah, nothing. Well, you know, exit interviews.
1 week's not going to make a difference. Like, just finish the season and start again, you know? Like, just finish the season.
Yeah, let it go now. Let it go. Let the last game go.
McVeigh is coming stronger and stronger as one of the candidates, apparently.
That's what I'm hearing.
Well, they say that that Sydney are in this position, they might exit the finals a lot earlier, and Essendon might snap him up. You just don't know.
You still think that Herd's a big chance, or you think it's less and less the longer it goes?
Well, there's not a lot more talk about it. That's the funny thing about it. So it's been kept quite, behind closed doors. But look, I think it will be Herdy, mate. I think it will be Herd. I've got this funny feeling, Rocco,
that it's going to be Herd.
Yeah. I've got a funny feeling it'll be Herd, mate.
I can't believe it.
No.
I can't believe it. I hope it is, man. I hope it is. Obviously, it'll be funny, but fucking hell, how could you do it? But anyway, I hope it is. It'd be. I reckon Enright will end up coaching St Kilda. I don't reckon Ross Lyon can survive.
Yeah.
He should be.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it. Well, I think some other people talked about it. It's who's the biggest disappointment of the year? Think about that. Who are they?
Gold Coast.
Gold Coast is probably the biggest disappointment. I reckon St Kilda's next.
Yeah.
Have to be.
Gold Coast Saints.
GWS. Yeah.
We're disappointing.
You can't. Yeah, I know that like Richmond and Essendon are disappointing, but you didn't. In reality, you didn't think you were going to make finals. You know what I mean? So maybe finishing 18th and 17th a bit low, but it's not the biggest disappointment. You know what I mean? Like it's you kind of understand you guys finishing in the bottom four, But Gold Coast at one stage were flag favourites and then lost 9 in a row. St Kilda spent $500 million on players and can't make the wild card. Like he's got to be.
Still haven't beaten a team above him.
What's
St
that?
Kilda. Wow.
They haven't beaten a team.
They still didn't beat a team above them.
And they get a free ride as well, man. It shits me, mate. St Kilda get a free ride, mate. There's no big articles, big statements about
why?
it.
Because
no one cares.
They're irrelevant. Exactly right, mate.
Really.
I said this last week, and I stand by when we beat St Kilda. They are the most irrelevant side in the competition. They are shit, bro. If there's any St Kilda supporters, sorry, prove me wrong. You've won one flag by 1 point fucking 60, 70 years ago, right? You've done nothing. You're spending all this money. You went back and got your ex. You went and got fucking Lions again, man. Who goes back to your ex? Don't do it. Don't ever go back to your ex, right? It's no good, right? He goes back. Again, they miss out. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I think Acker's right. Naz will end up leaving. He's not going to stay. At the end of next year, they're going to offer him big money. He's leaving, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah, friends. There's too many friends in the media. Maybe that's point to that. He's got a lot of friends in the media. That's why they don't talk about him.
Yeah, he's smooth. In his press conferences, he smooth talks his way out of criticism. He talks shit, and he gets away with it, whereas another coach wouldn't get that treatment, mate. They'd go nuts on him,
100%. 100%. Man, of course they would go. What happened with Parker? Rocco did. Carlton did, Rocco, with Parker, just saying. Yeah, we did too. Oh, we did too. But we won the premiership then with him. He did come back. Yeah, that was true. Very good point. I forgot about that one. But normally you don't go back to your ex, man. Like on a good day, you don't do that, mate. You don't do that. But
with the Saints, they've only won one flag in 80 years, and there was a comment there, and that was by 1 point.
Yeah.
Against Collingwood,
and it was a dodgy win as well to put on top of that.
I love Collingwood supporters. I'm still upset about losses after 70 years. It was that dodgy kick that just bounced through the points,
Yeah, they knocked out one of our best players earlier in the game too. Come on. But that was different times, mate.
Did you go to that game?
I was still I wasn't even an itch in my old man's pants, mate.
Not even a twinkle in his eye. I get it. Yeah, so no, they're just irrelevant. They're just shit. So definitely them two are the biggest disappointments. Probably Port Adelaide maybe a disappointment too. Yeah. I think Collingwood I think they are where they are. I think they're about right. I don't think you expected much more than that, did you, Mick?
No, I expected a gap year, but from what I've observed this year with us, we've had a whole handful of games where they were winnable and we lost them through stupid stuff and through coaching mishaps, like going defensive when you're only like 3 goals up. And this has happened in like 3 or 4 games, man. And we should have probably won. Well, we should have had 3 or 4 more wins than we've got now, and should be like breathing down top 4. But instead, we are where we are, and it's been a number of issues why we're there.
You agree with
a lot of other
Sebo?
Collingwood supporters will have you believe that McRae is the best coach in the comp, and with our personnel, look where he's got us. It's like, mate, we're fucking 8th, man. I don't care what you say about our personnel. We've got enough quality there to be higher than 8th. So,
You reckon
yeah.
Seba's right? McRae is the master of deception.
Oh, he's the king, mate. And I'll tell you what, the Warble said it in the chat too. Because I was going off at Ross Lyon about getting away at press conference. McRae's the same, man. He gets away with a lot, man. He's got that persona, mate, Mr. Nice Guy, blah, blah, blah. But come on, dude. There's myself, Warble, Ultimate Greatness, Adrian. We see, mate. We know what the fuck's going on, mate. Here, yeah. And we're kind of like the outcasts, but we don't give a fuck, mate.
I have to admit that your channel and Warble and all that are probably the only ones who are fucking honest about your team, mate. Where the others are just fucking, they're just glazing everything. They're just glazing everything.
Yeah, man.
Hey Mick, I've noticed you guys are slowly starting to get rid of some of those geriatrics, mate. Side bottom's gone now. He's
back in, mate. Don't worry about
that. What about Pendlebury?
Were you sad? Were you sad about side bottom leaving? Did you?
Me? I was wrapped. Yeah.
Didn't you?
Look,
you didn't cry, did you?
No. I look, man. Yeah, I know, mate. Have you ever seen that many social media posts with people taking photos of themselves crying? It's like, come on, dude. You cry about more important stuff. What? Am I going to go up to you and say, put my arm around you? Are you okay, mate? And you're going to answer, oh, side bottom retired. Come on, man. Look, man, I wish he, in all honesty, I wish he called it and said, this Brisbane game is going to be my last game, but obviously not. He's going to keep playing. He's not good enough to be in the 23, man. We've got a player, Sam Swadling, played side bottom's role last week and got 29 possessions and looked very
rising
impressive.
Star, didn't he? Rising star.
Yes, he did. Yeah, and now we're going to bring side bottom back. And look, I'm not saying he's had a crap fucking career. He's had a fantastic career, man. Yeah. 2 premierships, 370 something games. But people, whenever you bag him for his current form, people bring up, how can you fucking disrespect a player like that? It's like, man, we're trying to win. We're trying to progress here. We want to, through the season. That should not be a factor, emotion about this. We need to fucking, make the hard calls, and Fly's the king, mate. He'll just, I'll leave it to the player. No, don't leave it to the player. You be a ruthless bastard and just say, this is it. You're not good enough to be in the team. I'm going to drop you. Play well in the reserves, and you'll get back in the team. But no, he's gifted a game, and that's how it is. We're probably going to get belted against Brisbane because, we'll see what happens. But, yeah.
I have to admit, when I came on your show, I was giving it to Swally saying, who the fuck's this player, right? And since then, he's done all right. Yeah. He's a good kid. No, he's a good player. He looks like he's got some good skills on him, man. So,
Yeah.
You look like you found one there. That's all you want. You want to find a couple of those young kids, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Beautiful. All right. Let's get into the footy.
Bastard.
You could just go.
Wait, Buster, what are you talking about?
Nothing. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Wow. We're just going to we talk about the most irrelevant side. There was a game. I actually picked Richmond. You let me down there, mate. You let me down there.
Yeah,
Tigers 45-94. I didn't really watch it. How was it?
I did watch it, unfortunately. I think the only sort of good thing was I was crook, so I stayed home. I didn't go into the ground to watch it. So I would have been pretty upset if I was there. What can I say? We suck. That's it. Now, look, we obviously had two really good games, two really strong performances weeks leading up. And I was like, you know what, we should really be getting a win here. Saints are a rabble. We've got a lot to play for. Didn't happen. We just went back. All the positive stuff that we seen was gone. It really looked like we weren't trying. I think the most disappointing thing for me from it was our senior players that really let us down. Like, I would have thought the guys that actually played lots of their careers with Brody and Prestia in their last games, that they would have stood up and tried to give a big performance, but they didn't. And particularly our captain, Nane Curvis, he was really disappointing, which is a shame. Yeah, look, it was back to that slow, boring ball movement, that inefficiency in front of goals. We got a couple of chances here and there. I mean, we even bottled some really easy chances. I can't remember what quarter it was, but we literally had like a chance on the goal line and we bottled it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is hard to watch. Yeah, that's all it is. But look, it doesn't matter. We didn't want to beat St Kilda because, as we've said, St Kilda's a nothing team. We want to go out and screw Geelong over this week. We're going to go smash them. That's the plan. But I will say the St Kilda players actually helped my fantasy team so much. They were amazing. I don't know. I don't know. I know you guys don't care, but if anyone in the chat plays fantasy, I had an amazing week. I was ranked 7th out of everyone for the whole round.
Wow. I don't play it. I don't play these kids' games.
Liam, just quickly, mate. Another premiership player has announced his retirement. That's 2 in a row now in Prestia.
Yeah. Yeah, so they had their final game on Saturday for St Kilda. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with them next. I think there's talk that Prestia might be going to the Giants, maybe in some sort of coaching role. I'd be surprised to see him play again, but he's honestly been a fantastic player for us. He came across in 2017, made an instant impact in our midfield. One of those super good hard in and under players, really helped out. He did the hard work and got the ball out to start. I think sometimes he gets forgotten because those other guys were really good footballers. He was just as important in that team as anyone. Unfortunately, injuries riddled him at the end of his season. That's why I think he won't be able to go on. But yeah, always gave 100% every time he was out on the field. And yeah, same with Nathan Broad. Absolutely loved him. He's one of my favourite players. I love our defenders. Again, not the most skilled football you've ever seen, but he was super reliable. Always got the job done. He played some pretty big tasks, and yeah, he held off some really good opponents at times. And yeah, he's by all accounts one of the real top players for culture around our club. A lot of players really liked him, and he's going to be missed too. And yeah, I mean, speaking with Jezza about it, I think a team like West Coast would be silly not to ask the question to him if he wants to come back and play. But that'll be interesting to see.
Interesting. All right, cool. Yeah, I think the season can't come quick enough for you guys, and
we're beating Geelong, mate. Don't you worry.
Relax.
You reckon you'll beat Geelong? Did you pick them?
We get it done, boys. We
Did you
talking
pick
about?
him? Did you pick him, Liam? Did you pick him, mate? Because you're pretty close to the tips here, leading. So
I think I did. I hope I did.
We'll see when the tips come. All right, fair enough. Yeah. And what about your coach? You reckon? What do you reckon? What do you reckon? I was speaking to another Tiger supporter yesterday at work, and yeah, he's not happy, man. He's a bit like you. He's just not happy. And I said, but you've had a lot of injuries, and he wouldn't accept it.
Look, I mean, this week was a bad performance all around. But like I said, the week before against Adelaide, when we were actually competing, apart from some inefficiency in front of goals, I thought that some of his coaching strategy was poor again. Even this week, like it took nearly 2.5 quarters, and I think Brad Hill had like 35 disposals before we were finding out, we're going to put a bit of a tag on him. I was like, he's had 35 disposals. They're 50 points ahead. Why are you just making this move now? Yeah, look, as I've said it a few times. Obviously, he's made it through this season. I think he'll start coaching at the start of next season. But yeah, if we get in the spot like at Carlton this season where we're 1-8, halfway through, then I wouldn't be surprised if we pull the ripcord early and say, you know what, it's not working. And
that's what my mate said. That's what my mate said. He said if we 6-0 next year, he's gone. Big Seba,
absolutely.
why sacking Uze would be the worst thing they could do? Why?
I think, like, but by all accounts, he's built up a really good rapport and he's got a really good relationship with the players, and he's well respected, well liked around the club. I understand that, but biggest thing for me I see is tactically. I don't think we're improving tactically. I don't like our game plan. I think when he needs to make decisions in games on game day, he doesn't do it, and he's really struggling in that. I'm not sure if even if he gets the players back from injuries and stuff, like that's going to help him. I think if he doesn't have that tactical nous for coaching, I think we should be looking somewhere else. That's my biggest problem. That's why I think he should move on.
Has shown he can't develop young players. We're yet to see. It's an interesting.
The only point I'd say on that, Rambo, is that with a lot of our young players, it actually is injuries. Like the majority of them have played. Pretty much all of those top draft picks that we've had the last 2 seasons have played less than half of the games. Like they've probably played 20 games or less. Like if any of them have played 20 games, they've done a really good job. So it's naturally going to be hard to develop a player when they've only played less than half their available time.
Yeah, 100%.
I do understand the point, Rambo.
Enzo says it was inevitable that the Tigers would struggle now after 3 premierships, and I think there's your leeway because you won those 3 premierships. You get a bit of time. Like you won 3 premierships. Like it's always but you won 3 premierships. But you won 3 premierships. But how long ago was that now?
Yeah, it's hard to keep going back to that. It was the end of 2020. Yeah. That's 6 years ago. You did
win them, which is good. But I think that gives you that kind of that buffer zone for a while. But
I think end of 2023, end of 2024, when we had all those big names retire and then all those big names get traded to other clubs, that was the end of it. It was kind of
that was going to hurt you.
The period of being that team still contending is officially over. We're in full rebuild.
There you go. There's Seba. He reckons you've been decimated by injury for 2 years straight, especially to young talent. You need young talent all playing together and branding games consistently. He's kind of right. But next year's a big year.
Absolutely agree with that. He's 100% right. If we can get them all playing together, like these young guys that we've got in to be the future of our team playing together, absolutely, it's going to make a difference. But again, as I've said, I think tactically, I still don't think Uze's shown enough as a coach, in my opinion.
Yeah, next year, I mean, what have you won? 9 out of 60 games? What is it?
He's won 10 games. I think 4 or 5 of them have been against West Coast.
Yeah.
So nearly half our games have been against one team.
Next year, injuries or no injuries, right? Whatever, right? Next year, again, if you are 1-8 or, I mean, it just, the pressure's too much. They'll end up doing something. I mean, it just gets too much. Is it his last year?
Yeah. And we all know it's a results-driven industry, whether you like it or not. And if we're not getting the results, it's going to be really hard to keep your job.
100%.
They've even been talking about it with Clarkson at North Melbourne. And he's been a really good coach. But there was even chats about him saying, do we move
last
in?
year? But he showed something this year, didn't he? He showed something this year. The team played a lot better this year, and I reckon they'll be okay next year. North Melbourne, they've showed some. So, yeah. All right, let's get into. We'll go into this one because then we'll talk about the 2 draws. We'll just talk about the irrelevant games. The 76. I suppose there was a little bit of a better performance, but looking back now, I mean, Swans were probably thinking of after the game more, so they probably took it easy in that last quarter. What did you think of the game?
Yeah, well, obviously, the last few weeks we've actually started quite well, to be honest, guys. But I think after the first 10 minutes in the first quarter, Sydney kicked 9 unanswered goals, and again the game was over before it began. So it's those moments that are really killing us. We just tend to put our head down and tend to give up. But for the last 3 quarters, we were actually quite competitive. And I thought it was going to be a blowout. I thought it was going to be, honestly, about 80, 90 points. So we kind of matched them in the second half. Obviously, maybe Sydney put the cue in the rack. But it was just great to see, more importantly, our young players having a real good crack. So, yeah, again, I felt it was a lot better than what we've been doing the last few weeks. Not 100% convinced, but I'm just really interested to see the young players, how they perform, and I can see some positives in our young boys. So hopefully they continuously keep playing for the next week and start off the next season playing these young fellas. So I think Sharp's going to be a gun, Roby, Vicentini, Farrow, Caddy, Keiko, Clark, Daywicks, Roberts, Archer, May. And if we can get another 12 months through our backman in Reed, not being injured, I think the Bombers will be okay next year. That's our talent, and we need to get a coach that's going to give these guys confidence and give them freedom to play their game. And I think there'll be some massive changes next year for us. So keep these young guns, I think, at the club, and things might change for next year for us boys. But at the end of the day, it was a very disappointing outcome for us again.
Enzo reckons, Mark, you guys started well until the game started. Looked good in the room.
Yeah, and that's Glenn Kernack first 3 goals too. So I thought it was going to have a bloodbath on Sunday, but he kicked
3 in the first quarter, didn't he?
The first 3 goals. It was the first 3 goals. That Sydney. They were quite easy goals, and that's why I just mentioned that young player in Reed. Where's number 31? Very similar play to Dustin Fletcher, and I think that he matched him in the rest of the game. So I thought he was going to bag about 10, to be honest, Rocco, Mr. Kerno.
I think no one's with you, man. No one sees any positives. I mean, there's no positives in SNL.
There's got to be some positives in that game there. So I don't know if you guys were actually watching the game, but there were some extreme positives, especially the young fellas, mate. Especially the young fellas.
Your fans gave me a good laugh on Sunday. I was working the gate, and they were literally there was genuinely fans leaving at quarter time. I was like, "You actually leaving already?" Like, no, that's genuinely about three or 4 fans. I spoke to.
Yeah. At quarter time, we're down by 60-something points, nearly, mate. And that's what's frustrating. 60 points at quarter time. You look forward to watching the footy. You look forward to watching your team perform, or contest. And then, lately, the first quarter, the game's over. How bad can it be? But after the first quarter, obviously, we were a bit more competitive. So it was worth watching.
Yeah, you definitely dragged it back for sure. Like, I started watching this in the second quarter. I was like, they're coming back already. Yeah,
we got within 11.
I was worried. I thought it was going to be a massive blowout for a while.
Yeah, well, we did get within 11 points in the second quarter, Liam. 11 points, I couldn't believe it. I thought,
it's really good.
If we can get one, anything can happen. But no, unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Rocco reckons Essendon have actually overachieved this year, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rocco. That's all right, mate. Look to
Jay
the future.
reckons there is a
future.
positive. There is one positive. The land they built the hangar on is worth a fucking fortune. So if you sell that, maybe you could buy Butters.
No, we've got plenty of cash, mate. We've got plenty of cash.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to these two. First time, fucking for a long time, that I don't think. First of all, two teams have drawn.
Yeah, it's never happened. Yeah.
It's never happened in the same year. And then when Carlton drew the first time in like how long that two teams have drawn in the same fucking round. But anyway, it was 92-92. I actually watched this game.
Yep.
I'll
be interested to hear what you've got to say about this, Rocco. This game. Do you want me to just go do my thing first, and then you
of course. Explain the game.
Yes. So this is one of the three games Collingwood has played with our youngest squad in. Earlier this year, we played against Sydney with a very young team, almost beat them up there. And against West Coast, the second time we played them was a very young team as well. But this team, this 23 that played was very young. And although it was a draw, I was satisfied with the performance of these guys because there were two big momentum swings that when Hawthorn came back, and they still managed to absorb that momentum and turn it around to the point where we should have actually won the bloody thing. We had a very new look about us where we're turning over the ball, and all of a sudden you're seeing all these young kids like Harrison and Steele and Swadling and Allen. It's like, mate, we're fast now. What the fuck's going on? How are we so fast all of a sudden? Then it comes to the realization. Sidebottom missed the game. He was a late withdrawal. We still had Pendles out there. But yeah, look, as satisfying as a draw can be, it was. And I disagree with the antics of our coach at the end.
It was weird. It was really weird. I mean, maybe give a bit of a clap because, it was a good effort, young side. But he was pumped, mate.
He was pumped, and they even had the last kick of the day, and we were lucky he didn't make the distance. We would have lost.
That's right.
The fine line, from that to fist pumps, and it's kind of like I'm sitting at home. I didn't go to the game. I was watching it at home and just got my head on my hands thinking, fuck, a draw again with these guys. And then the vision comes and he's like cheering and, and it's like, come on, man. But what can I say, man? I'm in a very small minority of people that don't agree with that. If he wants to express his gratitude to the young players that got the job done, because it was a great performance against this. This is a Hawthorn team with only one injury, They've only got one injury. They're full strength. And we almost got it. And, all right, I understand. You'd be happy with that. But to express it in that way, just leave it for the rooms, man. Go into the rooms, just say, look, guys, we've got the draw, but I'm very happy with your performance. But instead, it's kind of like it leaves a kind of, feeling of that's enough. Yeah, a draw's enough. Yeah, that's.
And the draw helped us out because now, as I said, probably you get that home final, which doesn't matter, but it means that you're not playing Adelaide or anything. So that's definitely good. But I don't know. I don't really know what that was about, to tell you the truth. With Collingwood, I mean, look, they did it again. Collingwood again played their brand of football, never give up, fight, fucking always there and about. Hawthorn get away, you come back. You know what I mean? Again, Dacos, best player. on the day again, he kills it, you know. But you did have those young kids who were scoring. You had that other guy who kicked a couple of goals there. What was his name?
Charlie West.
Yeah, Charlie West kicks a couple of goals. So you got a couple of good young kids looking there. Again, to me, that's a typical Collingwood effort.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
And,
you know you're going to get that from Collingwood.
Yeah, and there's this whole misconception going around. Oh, you know, Mr. Mark over there that brings it up every week. Oh, the geriatrics, this and that. You've got no kids. Well, mate, we've got a nice handful of young kids that have played under 20 games that are looking like they can be players, man. And there's 2 or 3 of them that should have been played right from the start. And I'm talking about Swadling and Charlie West. They were already in round 0, and they should have been blooded from then. To give them a whole another 12, 13 games. Sorry?
That's my point, Nick. They should have been blooded a lot earlier, mate. You just kept on holding on to these geriatrics, and that's what's going to curse you players in the future. So I get where you're coming from, but holding on to these older players for too long is going to affect you guys in the long run. Yeah, these guys, these young kids, you're saying they've played a handful of games. Handful of games, mate. Come and see me when they've played 80, 90 games and see where they're at. You know what I mean? So young kids, they're going to perform for 10 games and then they might die out, you know?
Look, we agree on that, Mark. They should have been played earlier. They showed signs in the preseason, and Fly had his favourites, and there've been a whole handful of 3 or 4 players in Collingwood that doesn't matter what their output is week to week, they get picked the week after, and it's not even considered to drop them. And we had these guys like Charlie West banging goals in the reserves. As Valentino says, mate, McCreary, thank you, Carlton. You guys got him back into
form. Ever since that game, mate, he's like a fucking. He's turned into bloody fucking. Bloody. He's turned into another bloody Dacos there, man. He's fucking getting the ball. What's going on?
He just played. He played. That's the best game of his career. That one. Yeah. Well, look, something's happened. I don't know what it is, man. There was talk about him going to Tasmania, and when that talk came out, he was playing like his whole season was putrid. And then he's turned it around. That Carlton game was the catalyst, and since then, it's as if each game he's been better, and it's culminated in this game where it's his best for his career. Yeah, 2 goals and over 20 possessions. Over 20 possessions for McCreary. Mate, that is ridiculous, mate. We've never seen that. And he was everywhere, in the centre, you know, in the forward line. So, it was great to see, man. Hopefully, look, we're getting some players back now. We played about 3 or 4 games with Frampton as our only experienced tall down back. Like this game, we had Puncher and Noah Howes, 2 very green players, and they did adequate jobs.
He's been good too, that Puncher.
Another youngster. So we had them there, and like I was, you know, myself and the Warble and Adrian and Greatness, we were the ones right from the start of the season, mate. Get these kids, and when we've played with the kids, man, we've looked like a different team, mate. But when you drop them back to the Rezzies, the Warble's favourite player, Dan Houston. Dan Houston, man. He had a shocker. Fuck, man. And people still defend him, man. You know, we bag him and we get absolutely fucking barraged by others say, I'll leave him alone. We better leave him alone, mate. Fuck, you're a professional footballer, mate. You're on big bucks. We're asking you to do a job. Stop giving it back to the other team, mate, with your shit kicks, man. And when you see the ball that needs to be got, get it, man. Don't fucking hold back. Fuck me, man. Sorry, man. A bit of a rant there.
No, I agree, man. And I had that issue when we, you know, with Williams and things like that, man. And mate, you're paying them big bucks and they're not doing a job, but they're still getting a game, and it was hurting us. You know what I mean? And you're talking about selection integrity. That's what it's about, man. And again, like what you said before, they have not played since Fraser's been there. they don't get a game. They're just not good enough. They're not doing what they're doing. Yeah, they're getting their 25 possessions in the reserves. Keep them in there, Saad will never get a game again. Who's he going to take like Billy Wilson's spot? Billy Wilson's been a godsend to us, What's who's Williams? Who's he going to take? Like there's a few times I thought, he'll play him this week, Against Brisbane, I thought he might bring him in because of the experience, but no, he didn't. He didn't bring him in. He trusted the young kids. And look what happened. So Mark, what's your thoughts on Pensionberry?
Retire.
Well, yeah,
Mick, retire. Is he asking Mark? Oh, sorry.
He's asking Mark, but
I was going to ask you that question, Mick, about Sidebottom, and then obviously Pendlebury. He wants to stay for another year, and Collingwood are not 100% certain that they're going to honour that contract. So, would you personally want him for another 12 months, or you think it's time for him to go as well, or to hold up a young player's position? So,
it's time. Pendle's another. This. What I'm going to say is controversial, and it shouldn't be controversial. But Pendle should retire, man. Look, we've got a speedy midfield now with Dacos and Allen and all that. And when we go through a handball chain, the ball goes to Pendles. He gets pinged, mate, because he's slow. Look, he's still got the skills, but he does turn it over more in his older age. He gets pinged more. He does little mistakes, which is understandable. The guy's fucking 39, man. But look, man, if we're going to get Butters and Lockie Neal or whoever, if we get both of them, there's no need to have Pendles there anymore. It's just, why? I would only accept Pendles to stay one more year if I'd keep him on the list if the caveat was you've got to play in the reserves and help the young kids, the young midfielders in the reserves develop. And if we need you to play seniors, if we're copped an injury run, if we need you, you'll come and step up and help us, but you're going to be a reserves player. But that's not going to happen. That's a pipe dream, So just retire, man. And look, I know he wants to. I've heard he wants to play on. Why? Look, I want to see him in another team, but he's got to go.
I reckon it's a mistake, as you say, man. It's time to move on because keeping him for another year is just going to hold up somebody. You know what I mean? And it's not good. I don't know. That's my opinion. What about one more person before we go? Ben Long. What do you think about him?
Ned Long, he's Ned Long. He's another one, mate. He played one good game last week. Everyone's like, "Oh, Ned Long, he's back." What do you mean he's back, mate? He's a fucking spud, man. Look, he goes in and gets the ball. He's really hard in the stoppages, and that's really admirable, But that's all he can do, man. He can't fucking kick.
It reminds me of a bit of a McGough. It was McGough that used to play
McGough,
Mark
like that.
McGough.
It reminds me like that type of player, isn't he? Like he was hard at the ball, but he was just his disposal.
And his disposal,
that's sick. That's a Mark McGough.
He looks
I love when old names come up. I love when old names come out of nowhere. Mark.
He won the Anzac Day medal, didn't he?
He did too. He won an Anzac Day medal. That bloke.
Yeah. And Ned Long, last year in that miraculous run of games at the start where I made the big call, just give us the cup now, he was one of the main guys, but he must have got, I don't know if he's playing a different role or he's been worked out. This year, as greatness says, all he can do is inside mid. This year, Fly, genius super coach Fly, played him as a defensive forward. For about 6 or 7 weeks in a row, man. We're pulling our hair out. What the fuck is going on here? So
that's what Voss used to do, mate. Voss used to put our players in these weird positions, man, and they just weren't performing, And all of a sudden, like, we're playing players in the right position, and all of a sudden they look good, man. It's amazing when you just play them where they're meant to play, Every once in a while, you get a player where you can change them, and it works. But in reality, man, it's, far out. Anyway, all right. And then, I suppose, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Done. Yep.
And then unbelievably, there was another draw to Carlton and the Doggies. Yeah, so everyone thought that we were going to beat them and smash them. I never really thought that, even with Bonds out. Doggies are still a good side, you know. I have to admit, Beveridge, he coached very well. After quarter time, he did the moves. And that's what you want your coach to do. You got to see what's happening on the ground and make those moves, you know. And he did those moves. He put those big defenders onto the, into the middle and started winning the contested ball. You know what I mean? And Ed Richards apparently had the highest rated game of any Bulldog in the history of the Bulldogs. You know, like he killed us. Ed Richards just had the game of his life, man. He was killing us. But look, we didn't play the best. Both teams made a lot of turnovers by both teams. They kept turning the ball over. I just think it was the pressure that was put on both sides. We tried to move the ball the way we wanted to, but they had us covered, man. They played it beautifully. They covered the corridor. They played it beautifully. So it forced us to go a bit longer than we normally do. But I was happy with us because we kept trying. We kept doing what we had to do, man. And we ended up a few times coming back, hitting the lead. You know what I mean? We just kept fighting. This is what I love about this Blues side. If you look at over the last 13 weeks, man, we never give up. We just keep fighting and we find a way to win. And that's with even the makeshift forward line. Remember, we've got two defenders as our main goal kickers in Kemp and McGovern. So then we've got two just backmen who are just making up as we just haven't got a big forward, you know. And, you know, Harry plays more of that role. He's been good ever since Fraser's taken over, man. He's playing that role up the ground, ruck. He was important, took some big marks down the line. Haywood's a gun, man. He's fucking. Oh, I love this bloke, man. He's just a gun, man. Working up and down the ground. Ainsworth probably had one of his lesser games. You know what I mean? Billy Wilson doing his job. I love Harry Dean. Could be my favourite player. I love this bloke, man. He's starting fights when there's no need to start fights. There was a contest down the ground. He wasn't even involved in it. He wasn't even involved. And then when the bloke kicked the ball down the line, Harry Mackay smothered it, like punched it out of the Bulldogs player's hand. And then he ran up to that player just to tell him, don't get fucking smart with our plays. I just love him, man. He brings the aggression.
And he's only 18. He's doing that at 18. That's ridiculous,
in every
man.
fight. He's in every fucking fight, man. He's in every fight, man. I just love him, man. And Wiedering comes back, right? And everyone's been talking, well, we're better off without Wiedering. That people are forgetting who Wiedering is, man. Still one of the best defenders out there, man. And wait till we play, like this week we got the Fremantle big guns, and if we play Adelaide and that, then tell me you don't need a big key forward. A big key backman there to hold one of these players down, mate. Him back there helps Harry Dean. Harry Dean goes up, he can play up the ground a bit more, be more of an intercept, which is his game plan, because he feels confident with Wiedering down there, So he's going to be huge for us, you know what I mean? So he played a good part. So again, we fought away. With 5 or 6 minutes to go, they hit 7 points in front. And I'm telling you, inside you're going, oh, man, all they need is another goal and we're done here, But they fought their way back to draw it. And then, they tried to win it for a minute or two. And then when they found out that there was only 90 seconds to go, the board comes out and they control the game. They controlled the game to a draw, which they needed. And I loved it. Under Voss, I never saw that. He actually come out with a statement that said that, in the last 4 minutes, there's nothing you can do. Really? Really? There's plenty you can do, mate. There's plenty you could do out there to make sure you win or whatever you need to do. So that last minute.
So in that last minute, Rocco, in that last minute, you guys held on to the ball to play for the draw because that was enough to get you in the finals. Okay. No, that's good. Because
and I know a few people like Swanee and that said, like how weak and that. But at the end of the day, I mean, mate, of course you try to win the game, but imagine the backfire now if we try to go down the line and they turn it over and kick a point and we lose and we don't make the wild card. I mean, how dumb is that? Like, of course, when there's 90 seconds to go and you know that a draw is enough to get you, it's never happened where you play for a draw in footy because it's never meant anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this time, the 2 points meant a lot. And to tell you the truth, man, I was rooting for them to draw the game when there was 90 seconds to go. There was no need. There was no need to fucking try to win this game. Like, what benefit would you have got?
Yeah.
You know,
maybe, draw or win puts us in the same spot. Yeah. So you did what you had to do.
Look, if we had won, we'd probably avoid Adelaide, depending on what happens. So there might be some ramifications this week, but you can't worry about that when there's 90 seconds to go, you know. So regardless if we play for a draw or you play to win the game, you're 1 point, the way they control the ball at the end shows their maturity, shows the way. Cohen have different gears now. They can go, if you notice, we normally win the uncontested marks because we control the ball now. In the last 13 weeks, we win the uncontested marks. We control the ball. Like, we have control of the ball. And so we've got it. And then when we've got to go, we go. We go. All of a sudden, we don't look fucking slow. All of a sudden, we're looking pretty quick, you know, because the ball moves quicker than feet. Just remember that. If you can deliver the ball, it moves quicker. You know, he moved Chera to like half back wing, you know. All of a sudden, Chera's looking, even though he didn't have his best game, but he's looking good now. He's delivering the ball. He's got a little bit more time, you know what I mean? So he's made these moves. Akers had the game of his again. Akers, he's a good player, man. He's a good player. Experience. He does what he does. So, yeah, overall, it wasn't our best game in the last fucking, you know, 3 months, but fuck, we still kicked 82 points and ended up getting the result we needed. So I'm pretty proud of him. And again, what I said, Fraser, if you look, there's vision. Straight after the game, the camera zooms into him and he says, he looks over to the coaches and he goes, that was a fucking shit game, something like that. So he knew straight away he wasn't happy with it. And the players, I mean, Jagger and that pumped the air. I think a few of them were kind of wondering what that meant, you know what I mean? So, but they weren't overexcited. They weren't overexcited. Even last week against St Kilda, you look at the Coen players, they didn't get excited.
Yeah.
Like
you'll get excited next week, mate. You beat Freo, mate. You'll be excited, mate.
We'll be excited, just like we were at Brisbane, of course. But I think it's almost in their mentality saying that it's not done yet.
Yeah.
We've got work to do, you know, not only for the team, but we've got work to do this year, man. We've still got work to do. It can't be over this week, you know. We've got work to do, man. So I like that mentality. Like what you say, Mick, you know, you need that mentality where you're never the finished product, mate. You know, like we're here to do more. So overall, a good win. Sorry, it was a draw, but overall, it felt like a win, man. I reckon for us, it was a win because we got what we needed to do, you know. So we did what we needed to do. So, and it was a good week, man. And then we appoint Fraser, which was never going to be doubted after that. So it's been a good week. So
you're shouting free drinks for everyone, Rocco. How good's that, man? Rocco's shouting everyone.
I'm sure, Mickey boy, I'll be buying drinks for people. Don't you worry, man. I'm going to have a good time that night. I'm sure I'll be shouting you a couple of beers, Mick. Make sure you get down there, get your tickets. It's the big day out. We celebrate a year, win, lose or draw. It's a good celebration, man. I mean, apart from the team, I mean, the TJP family has had a big year this year, man. We've had a tough year, a big year. So, you know what I mean? A lot of shit happened this year and you know, we just kept fighting, just like the Blues just kept fighting on, and we're still here, man. We're still striving to be the best, you know what I mean? So we all get together, have a drink. It's going to be a good day, man. That's what it's about, man. At the end of the day, I hate Collingwood and I hate Essendon and I hate Richmond, but, you know, have a beer at the end of the year, man, is the way to go, isn't it? Because the footy's one thing, but friendship's another. Yeah.
That's it. Exactly. Well said, man.
Here we go. Here it is, the final top 10. There's not much. I mean, the top 2 now secured home finals. Brisbane can take a second spot, can't they?
No.
2 points clear.
Oh, sorry. I can't see it. That says 68. Sorry. Yeah. I thought it said 60.
Yeah.
So they secure. I mean, it's only the difference between them to Melbourne.
Well, Melbourne can jump in the top 4. Melbourne can jump in the top 4.
They can jump depending on Brisbane have got to lose, Hawthorn have got to lose, Melbourne, Geelong. Yeah, Geelong can go up. So there's a lot of movement there that can happen in the bottom part. I mean, if Adelaide win, I'd like Adelaide to win and Geelong to lose, but that's not going to happen. So you got to do us a favour, man, because then they drop and then we play Geelong and then I can give it to Lucas. If we win,
you win, and Melbourne win.
Yeah, well, if we win and the doggies lose, well, then it's to calm Collingwood. You reckon the AFL are doing something about that this week, Mickey boy? You reckon there's going to be some fucking words said to the AFL fucking umpires?
Would it surprise me? The one thing the AFL can do if they're serious about upholding all these fucking values that they hold is get rid of Sydney and get rid of Geelong from that top 6 because they're both put the game into disrepute and we'll be 6th. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice if that happens, and then we get number 1 draft or number 2 draft pick. We move up 2 spots. We can move. Actually, we can move all the way to fucking like 6th, 8th.
Yeah.
Fuck, that could be a go, mate. Well, we'll see what they got to do if they got any balls. And then at the end there, you got Richmond and Essendon. I mean, Essendon can still get off the bottom if they win and Richmond lose.
Imagine that.
That is
celebrations. There'll be celebrations for Mark.
They would celebrate for 17th, wouldn't they?
No wooden spoon for us.
I think there's a wooden spoon coming your way, mate. I think there's a wooden spoon coming your way.
If not,
all right, let's go to next week. There is some big games. This is the first big one. Friday night, Collingwood, Brisbane here at the MCG. I still think it's going to be a close game, man. I don't think it's going to be what people think about Brisbane. I still think Collingwood are going to. The question is, are you going to rest Daycox?
Well, I want to know, man.
I would support that, but it probably won't happen. And this is another. Last week was actually pretty much a dead rubber for us, But this week is definitely a dead rubber. Doesn't really mean whatever happens, it's not going to really.
For you, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No. But for them, they're still playing to cement top 4. So that's probably what will be the difference in the end. They'll win pretty easily, I reckon. But it won't worry me. I'm going to go to the game. I just want to see the young kids running around. The actual result, look, of course, I'd be happy with the win. But if we do lose, and even if we lose badly, it's not going to affect me too much. Look, I'll look at their team on paper, and that just looks ridiculous how good that team is. How did you just beat them by 80 points, man? They just,
They're still, I think Fremantle are the team to beat this year. They're just they're built beautifully, man. They got every line covered. But Brisbane, we went through this a few weeks ago. Man, they got that many fucking S-tier match-winning players in that side. And they've got the experience of finals. You think about it, the last 3 years, making it to the grand final, winning the last 2, man. Seriously, they are the team to beat. Could it be another draw?
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. We're the draw kings. It's always us drawing, man. Fuck me.
Far out. And that last kick, man, when he kicked it, like I was on TV, I'm looking at him going, that's a goal. It's a point, He's going to get a point. That's all he needs, And then you see a bit of commotion going, what the fuck? And it didn't even make the distance, man. It didn't even make the fucking distance, So that was pretty poor by that. See, I feel like, well, I feel like they lost that game because they should have won it, really.
Yeah. We had our chances to put the game beyond doubt. A lot of like real shots from about 50 that, from Rowan Steele and McCreary. They both had good games, but they missed shots that would have broken Hawthorn's back. But
yeah, 100%.
And then Hawthorn got back up. Oh, look, if anyone goes to the footy with me, I'm the worst, man. I don't know about you, Rocco, or you guys. I'm a giver-upper. Once we're down 20 points, I'm like, fuck this. I'm a negative, pessimistic type, mate, when it comes to the footy, mate. So, yeah.
I'm actually always positive.
You always have hope.
I always got hope because I've seen it before, you know what I mean? Realistically down, I know that times to lose it, but I'm not as vocal as you think I am. I'm quiet at the footy. I just sit back and I enjoy the time. I mean, every once in a while I'll do a bit of a pump or, or might crack at a decision or something, but no, I don't boo, but I do that. But that's, I might do that, but I'm not as vocal like Mars and Seba's in there.
Yeah, they're louder.
This is if you ever want to experience football in a different way, you come to the footy with us and watch Seba and Mars go at it. And even my son's starting to get a little bit like fucking vocal at the footy. All right, so then the next day it's Carlton at Marvel at 1:15 against Fremantle. Interesting game. As I said, it is a big game. We've secured the top 10, so a little bit of the intensity, I reckon, is gone out. But it is important because if we win, we possibly stay in Melbourne. So you'd want that. Fremantle, are they going to be 100%, like going forward? Who knows, man? Who knows?
Why would they from their point of view, why would they want to fuck around with, form and, continuity, man? Just play your best team, man, Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, like, I think they'll start with some intensity, but then during the game, depending on what's happening, it'll just fall off. You know what I mean? Because near the end, players don't want to get injured. I think, will they rest any players? I reckon there's going to be a couple of players they rest. Why not? Why wouldn't they? You know what I mean? We're going to probably be without Haywood. Probably the only one. So interesting who they bring in. I think we'll go for it. We'll definitely go for it. I don't think we're not in a position to like rest players or in a position to fucking like not win the game and that. I think we just got to keep going with momentum and see what happens, But I think it's just natural both sides. Near the end, if there's a result that's going to happen, they're not going to go in 100%. Like, why would you when you know the week after you have to play?
Yeah.
You're not going to do it. Like, mentally, you'll just switch off a little bit, So it'll be an interesting game. But I think Fremantle will win. I think they're too good of a side. I think they're the premiership. They're the premiership team. They've been awesome this year. And the only thing about them is, are they going to be able to hold it during the finals and during a grand final, especially if they're
That's the thing.
That's the thing. But as
at
far
the
as
MCG in front of 99,000, do you trust them to get the job done, mate, against like a Hawthorn or a Brisbane or someone like that? That's the only thing.
So what do we got? We got what do we got? I saw one here. We got the Sir Simos. He's in the chat. How are you, mate? He's picking Essendon over Port this week.
Yeah.
Which is coming up there. That's a big one.
That's actually a chance.
Sportsbet is paying out the Brownlow to Dacos already. It's a disgrace. It has ruined the whole night.
Unless he gets suspended against Brisbane, unless he belts someone, it's back on, mate.
Got to rest him now, mate.
That's true. I never thought about that. That's true, man. That's true. But you know what? First of all, I would not surprise if they rest him. Second of all, like, why wouldn't you? The kid's been fucking taking on the whole team, taking on everything. Man. Second of all, if they're paying out, fucking think they know something, man. Get ready for that frame, Mick. Buy that Dacos Brownlow frame, mate. It's coming. It'll come out that night, Monday night. You watch.
It'll probably be the first time I watch the Brownlow, the whole thing, mate. It will be the first time in years, mate.
Yeah. So, all right. There's a couple of irrelevant games here.
Oh,
Geelong versus thing. Well, here we go. You know, Liam's thinking that they're going to win this game. I mean,
Liam, we know you're being a bit cheeky here, mate. What's making you say that? You're just being being a bit cheeky there. You got no hope, man.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just having a bit of fun, to be honest. Yeah. Nah, hard, yeah. Well, seriously, I mean, what have we got to lose? Like, honestly, our season's done. We're finished down the bottom no matter what. Why not go out there and just have a crack and try and beat them? Why not?
I mean,
let's
you try to do that every week, let's be honest. But go in hard, I reckon. Go in hard, man. It's the last game of the season.
We're going to lose, mate. Let's prove something. Well, I hate Geelong. I'd love to see them get done. Why not, mate?
Jeremy Cameron is back. Oh, look at this. They reckon the Geelong cheats. I reckon you just keep screaming that out in their ear about how they cheats.
Well, Matt, maybe if Cameron's back, we'll actually let Brody come back for one more game and just get him to run.
Oh, finish him off, yeah.
I hate Jeremy Cameron. He's a flog. And someone to run through Dangerfield if he plays. And Tom Stewart. I don't know. Maybe that's what we should do. If we can't win, let's just take out a couple of blokes.
Oh, well. If you can't win, just drag everyone down with you. Liam, if you can't win, just drag everyone down with you, mate. Just take as many people out as you can.
Why not?
That's why it's dangerous playing like teams like you guys in the last round, because they don't care. Like what can happen, you know? They don't care.
Well, look, I mean, like, if Geelong want to, they can switch it on and play their absolute best the whole game and destroy us. But because they can't really afford to slip, because I think if I've got my calculations right, if they slip, they potentially drop to the wild card.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was thinking there's a scenario where they finish 7th, and if Carlton finish 10th, you guys have a good record against them.
Oh, I love it. I know Lucas is not wanting that at all, man. Yeah, I'd love for the.
I reckon that's what I'm thinking, mate. I'm not just thinking about Richmond. I'm thinking about. I'm trying to help Carlton here, you know. I want you.
Just trying to help one of the rivals. I like it. When are they playing? Saturday. Oh, no, I'm watching that game. I'll be going for the Cats.
There you go, mate. See, I've turned it from a nothing game to.
All of a sudden, it does mean something. You're absolutely right. All right, let's go into this one. Last game of the season, mate. Can you show something, Mark? Can you show something?
Look, boys, I think this week, mate, we're gonna go out with a bang, boys. We're gonna go out with a bang, mate. You're gonna see a different Essendon side this week, boys. Believe me, mate. Like Liam was saying, just go out there, play with some freedom. Got nothing to lose, so. You know, I think we're going to finish off the season with a big bang. Essendon by 35 points this week against Port.
Fucking hell,
I don't think it's as good as what people are thinking. They're not playing some good football. Our young players are going to reap the rewards this week. So Essendon for 35 points. Congratulations on the Essendon reserves as well, making the finals. They've won the last, I think, 8 out of 9 games. So well done to the boys in the reserves. So, let's finish off the bang and looking forward to Mad Monday on the weekend as well.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for. Hey, make sure it's not too mad. You saw what happened this week, so make sure you keep it under wraps. So make sure there's a curfew.
Going on the Brownlow while we were talking about Mick and about what's happened this week with the Swans. Heaney would be eligible for the Brownlow. Would he be a best and fairest? Is it got anything to do with the suspension, do you think, boys, or is it got nothing to do with the Brownlow? What are your thoughts on that?
No, it's got nothing to do with it, man. It's not an on-field discretion, mate. So, yeah.
So he'd be one of the favourites.
From the All Australian. Like they've said that none of those players are going to be eligible for All Australian.
Wow.
I reckon Heaney was definitely in the team. He would have been.
Well, they've suspended that for a while, so they're not going to name the All Australian. So that's going to be part of it.
No,
also, you've got to think like
come out. Those players won't be.
They come out. I thought they were waiting. They were going to hold it back for a week or two.
No, I think what I mean is like just those 5 players will not be involved. I don't think the team has been announced, but
there you go.
Whatever happens, those guys will not be involved.
You know what? This is like this again. We go back to that quickly, just quickly. If they do get convicted, right? Let's go. They get convicted for what they do, right? Remember what they did to Nicky Wimmer? They took down his statue. I mean, does that implications on what happens to them and their trophies and their names? And there's a lot to play out here, man. I mean, there's a lot to play out.
That's another Essendon one. They took Joe Watson's Brownlow back.
Yeah, they took Joe.
That was true. So
it'll be interesting. I'm telling you, you watch. This is it's not going to end this week, but I reckon this is going to be hanging around for a while.
Right. You know what the funny thing is? Probably in Sydney.
Imagine he wins the Brownlow. Imagine he wins the Brownlow.
Yeah. Well, if he wins the Brownlow as well, so. And he's
you know what the funny You know what the funny thing is? Sorry, man.
He'll finish high. He's had a good year.
He will. He's been huge.
What's a funny thing, Nick? What's a funny thing?
The media beat up. It's in Melbourne, yeah. I reckon in Sydney, no one gives a fuck, mate. They don't even know who they are, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, apparently there's going to be a bit of not a protest, but I heard they're going to watch the girls' game and then kind of walk out of the that was the word out of the men's game. So I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. I reckon they should rename it to Team of the Year or Season. All Australian has no meaning anymore when there is no. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I mean, there wasn't always a game against. I mean, All Australian, just a name. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, what about in America?
Yeah, different.
They got isn't their baseball called the World Cup?
In other words, Bocek, you're thinking about it too much.
It's not a World Series.
I don't know.
What was that, Mick?
In other words, Bocek, you're just thinking about it too much, man. Relax.
Yeah, no, that's
no one cares, mate.
No, no one does care. No one cares. No one cares about the All Australian anyway. Like, I don't remember last year's All Australian. Like, I don't know who was in the sides, man.
Mate, you forget.
Moving away from the football, boys. Just quickly before we take off, we'll have a bit of a chat maybe about the Aussies, mate. See how they went against Bangladesh.
All right, we'll talk about that after we do this. So we have got tips for and as you can see, Manny's gone Collingwood, and he's also gone Essendon. Look at this.
And your Manny, mate.
He's got there.
Essendon as well, actually. Why not?
Happy
All right, let's go for the games.
Right, tomorrow night, nothing game, St Kilda, Gold Coast, I don't care. Friday night's going to be really interesting, Collingwood and Brisbane at the MCG. Interested to see if Collingwood do end up resting some players. I think if Nick Dacos does not play, I don't give them any chance. We shall see. Saturday, at Marble, Carlton Fremantle, interesting game. I mean, if you Blues boys can get it done, I have a feeling you're going to get it done. I think, again, Freo are going to rest.
Fucking hell. It'll be a big win. If we get it done, it'll be a big win.
I've got a feeling.
I hope you're right, William. I hope you're right.
Yeah, I hope I'm right too. Why not? Melbourne and Bulldogs at the MCG, another interesting game. That's going to have some interesting movement depending on where teams finish up in the season. Who knows? But Melbourne Kings of the G, they should get it done. I've already told you guys, biggest game of the round, Geelong and Richmond. We're getting it done. I'd like to change my tip to Richmond, please. I thought I did actually tip them. But we're getting it done. Doesn't matter. Adelaide Giants, that's an interesting one too, depending what happens with other teams. Adelaide could be Carlton's opponent in the first round, which would not be ideal for you guys. But I think Adelaide can still make the top 4 if I've done my math correctly. Anyway, Sunday, Essendon, Port Adelaide. Again, I'd like to tip Essendon. I have a feeling Essendon will get it. Port Adelaide suck. Horn Francis is out, so their other big star midfield is out. Butters is already basically out of the club, so yeah, why not Essendon? Sydney, North Melbourne. Again, I would like to change this tip because obviously everything that's going on with them. But
I think
that will be an interesting game to watch because of that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And then the latest game to finish, it won't be done till like 10:30 over here. But West Coast and Hawthorn. I'd love to see West Coast win, but I think Hawthorn have to bounce back. They've got a top 4 spot on the line. That is footy. Round 24. Yeah, I want to change all my tips now. I want to tip North. I want to tip Essendon. And I want to tip Richmond. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
You're miles in front, aren't you? Liam, you're miles in front, buddy.
Well, we'll have a look at that. Yeah, he's miles in front. He can't lose it.
Yeah.
He can't lose it now, so he's
I can lose it. I can.
Nah.
Yeah, I can lose it.
He'll lose it because he's tipping Richmond and he'll, this week, mate. So you never know.
No, there's not enough to lose. So you got it. I've come into second. So the only way Manny can come into second is if he gets all 9 right. And then he beat me by 1. So he's got 3 different tips to me. So, but what's that?
He tipped his own team. Who else did he tip?
Carlton.
Essendon.
He tipped Essendon, didn't he?
Yeah. He tipped Essendon, Carlton, and Collingwood. So if them 3 come up, he wins it. He comes second. But I said when I was last at the start of the year, see, this is exactly like the Carlton season. First half, I was shit house, man. I was at the bottom of the ladder, changed the way I was tipping, went forward, all of a sudden finished second. Have to be happy with that result.
Man. I'm the free man, mate. I've just been top all year. Come on.
You have been on top of all year. Yeah. No, it's good. Yeah. So, and so that's it. Well done. Good show. Well, we can talk a little bit about, if you want to talk a bit about the cricket. First of all, we got what do you care, Mark? You're a West Indies fan, mate. Cricket needs a good West Indies. Nah, fuck that. Yeah, that was a pretty. So we also did a bit of a watch along, Mick, with with Lucas. Watched the bit. So it all went bad in that first fucking session where we win the toss and we decide to bat on a fucking green pitch like that. And then after that, after we're fucking down, the pitch flattened out, sun comes out, and then all of a sudden it becomes a batting dream. And Bangladesh make nearly 500 runs, and we just couldn't do it. They bowled well, man. They fucking bowled well.
Yeah, you gotta give them credit. It's hard with the Aussies now. It's hard because the 2 players that you would have thought could have got dropped. What's his name? Cam Green got a century, and Hazelwood got a fifer. It's like, mate, who do you drop now? They would have been the first 2 to drop if But now it's like you can't drop Cummings, you can't drop. It's a hard one. Yeah.
No, you can't start Cummings. I mean, the bowling would stay. I mean, Lyon has to stay. I mean, the top end. I mean, maybe there's someone. Well, you're not going to drop Head. I mean, I don't know about the other opener. What's his name?
Weatherall. He's a slug, mate. He's had enough chances, mate. Get him out.
Yeah, I know. But who else is there? Maybe they give someone else a chance, and and then you've got even Marnus.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Oh. Mate,
That bloke has not been the same for the last 3 years, man. He just cannot fucking score, that bloke. You know, every once in a while he scores an 80 or something like that, but he's just not the same. And lucky we got Steve Smith.
Yeah. It's like, so we've got this massive series of tests coming up, like, after this, South Africa, New Zealand, India, England. It's kind of like, man, and we've started like this with the same team that has been relatively successful. What happens now, man? It's so interesting. Yeah.
I did see something about this. I did see someone got dropped. I think it was him. I think they are bringing in Renshaw.
Okay. All right, so Renshaw's going to be opening. It's probably Weatherall got dropped, I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a struggle. But as I said, it all started with just a bad decision.
Yeah.
They should have bowled straight up, man. Green pitch, you got Stark, you got fucking Cummings, you've got bloody Hazelwood. What are you doing, man? Start it up, and that's it, man. But they did it.
Typical decision from a lazy bowler. He probably did the toss. It was probably hot as. He's like, I can't be fucked bowling, mate, today. I'll put the batsman in.
Maybe.
It was a green top. Yeah, and
Bangladesh effort shouldn't be down. We didn't. I think they played great, mate. They played great, man. They took their chances. They dropped a couple, but they took their chances. They bowled good, man. There was a young kid. I don't know their names. Like, I really have no idea who these players are. But they had that young kid, that bowler, man. He was a gun, man. He was He was on target every ball, man. Just put him under pressure, you know. So
you got to give credit where it's due, man. At the end of the day,
Sebas reckons it's a bit like Collingwood. The team is fucked. This is what happens when you don't invest in the future. Australia has had this coming for a long time. But in saying that, right? In saying that, right, just relax. Don't worry. Australia will come back in the next test, man. Don't think that with those quality players, they're just going to fall over, you know what I mean? So let's everyone just take it easy. This is Mark kind of situation. One bad game and it's all over, already looking for everything that's bad, man. They pretty much had a bad session, you know what I mean? Like, if you think about it, they had a bad session and then they just never recover from it. I got complete faith that they'll come back. When is the next test?
It's very soon, actually. I think it's like in the next 2 or 3 days, I think.
Yeah, so I expect them to come back hard, man. And then we'll see.
Who's coming out in the summer? Who's coming out in the summer this year?
New Zealand for 4 tests.
Fuck, they're a good side. And then we've got England. And then we've got the 150th fucking test against England, haven't we, here?
Yeah. The order. This is the order, Mark. So we've got one more test against Bangladesh. Then we go to South Africa. We play 3 tests there. Wow. New Zealand come to Australia for 4 tests. Then we go to India. And then we go to England for the Ashes. Wow. So there's a lot of test cricket coming up, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It's 12 months of this, like, heaps of tests. Yeah. It's good for, if you like test cricket, it's good. It's good. It's going to be some fun watching, man. Plenty of watch-alongs. I mean, Lucas, he does fucking 13-hour streams now, so I'm sure you'll catch him on sometime. And then you got Warble there, fucking doing 24-hour streams. You got Magpie Army. These 3 here, man, you got to see them, man. If you ever bored, just go onto YouTube. One of them will be on there, fucking talking about
that. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. Make sure you get onto all their channels.
Yes.
Warble.
The Warble. Okay. So, this is where there's 4 imposter channels. Yeah, outcast channels, Collingwood channels. There's me. There's the Warble. Okay. Yeah. Then you got Age. He's in the chat. Age Unearthed. He's got a channel as well. He concentrates more on historical aspects. Yeah. He's counting down every Collingwood player from the history. He's like doing a bio of each one, and he also does test cricketers as well from the old days. And Ultimate Greatness has had a channel for years, and he's going to get back into it soon. So it's us 4. We help each other out. Yeah, we're kind of like, let's all help each other out here. So it's all good. Yeah.
No, it's good. Bit of fun.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
me
all
and,
from Maui, or you guys all in the facility of Maui, or?
No. Actually, I don't know about the other guys, but not me.
Deny that.
Yeah, that's right, Big Seven. Never call yourself. Oh, here we go. Never call yourself an outcast imposter. Fuck the people who are on the high horse and think they are better than you guys. Yeah, a lot of guys go around thinking they're fucking thing, but you know what? As I said, the only reason I jump onto your channel and that because you're fucking genuine. We have a laugh. Yeah, we've got different teams, but I mean, and then the discussions can go anywhere. Me and Bo jump on a lot. I think we do all right. As I said, Lucas is another one.
Yeah, Lucas. Legend.
This poor kid, man, he gets pushed away by his own fucking faithful fans there, but he's kicking along, man. He's a funny bloke, so they're good. As I said the other day, I was at work doing nothing, man, and there was Lucas. He's live, so I chucked him on, and he's having this rant about the other Geelong people and that. So he kept me entertained for about 30 minutes. So as I said, you jump on. I'm sure the Warble will be on after this, will he?
He will be, yes. And I think Bocek's going to be joining him, I think.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I might jump on. I'll see. I'm watching my I'm watching my... We were talking about Seinfeld. Not Seinfeld. We were talking about Sopranos last night. Or was it on Monday? We were talking about it last night with Thing. And I noticed we mentioned a bit on Monday, but we'll talk because you're a big Sopranos fan, aren't you?
Oh yeah, love it, man. Yeah.
Well, we're talking about. Have you guys watched Sopranos?
No. Never really got into it. Oh no.
Well,
it is still. I've watched it. I think
I watched Underbelly. I like Underbelly. That's pretty good.
Mate, that doesn't hold a candle to it, mate.
Nah, you got to watch Sopranos, man. You just one day. It might take you ages. Just get it on and then watch it from one until the end, mate. I'm telling you, you'll fall in love.
You will be.
You're Italian. You've got to watch it, man. But we were talking about last night with Andy. What did you think of the last episode
of The Sopranos?
Yeah.
Look, when it first came out, I'm thinking, what the fuck's this? But as time has gone by, I've kind of like recognised the genius of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I agree. It was perfect. It was fucking perfect. Yeah. I love it. Perfect song to come on at the end. The way. Have you seen Wise Guys?
No.
So
is it the movie? Guys, the movie or the show?
It's a 2-part documentary, and it's the writer, director, and he talks about Sopranos, and he's got the whole cast, and he talks.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. I didn't know. I forgot it was called Wise Guys. I've seen it.
Yeah, it was called Wise Guys, man. That was sick, man. And that last episode, I don't care what anyone says. It was fun. I'm the same. The first time I saw it, I go, "What the fuck is my TV just turned off?"
Yeah.
Like what happened was, like it just went black, But now the genius of it, best show ever. I'm watching a show now. It might be hard, but there is subtitles. So it's in Italian, right?
Yeah.
And it's from Napoli, right? And the accent is strong. So even I struggle to understand what they're saying. So I've got to read the subtitle. But it's called the Gomorrah.
Yes. Yeah. I've watched the first season of that, Rocco. How much have you watched of that, can I ask?
So I'm up to now. No, don't spoil it. I'm up to episode. It's only the first season, so I'm up to episode. Okay.
I won't say anything. Nice, all good. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is apart from being a little bit hard to understand because it's fucking. I can't even understand it. It's in Napoli, man. Like you can't understand them, So I'm picking up bits and pieces, but far out. What a series.
Yeah.
What a good series. So just that. Yeah. So that's it. Any series recommendation by you two? You don't seem to watch a lot of stuff.
No, I don't watch series, mate. I don't really get into the series, mate. I just want to watch a movie that goes for an hour and a half and be done with it, boys. So
I love coming back to it. Like, I love that I can watch 1 or 2 episodes and then I can come back to it in a few days on and continue. And there's always something there to watch. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. And there's some good actors now. Yeah, so that's it. All right. I think that's it, man. We've got nothing else. Just make sure. Get your tickets. I'll tell you, VIP, I think, is either there's only a few left or just almost sold out. So get them. You get to sit in the front row. You get first hit at the players for autographs and that. So you'll be in line first. And I'm sure they'll sit around and have a drink. Like, I'm sure Cody won't be drinking, but I'm sure the old man and David Rhys-Jones won't be drinking. He hasn't drank for like 2 years, but I'm sure Houlihan will have a drink with you. And yeah, get your tickets. Yeah, it's going to be a good day, man. As I said, it's a big day. We can all get together, have a bit of a drink, a laugh, and say pretty much where is this fucking? How do I get this off? Say thank you to everyone for another big year of football. It's fucking gone quicker.
Yeah, too quick, mate. Fuck. You just want it never to end, mate. Footy.
Oh, yeah, I want it to end, mate. I want it to end.
No, I know you want it to end for footy. Yeah, I know. Because this seriously is you, isn't it?
No, don't do it.
Oh dear.
You know why there's gates at Marvel? It's to keep the Essence supporters in, not to fucking let them out. That's my joke for the day. So get those tickets. Thanks, everyone. Tomorrow night, Selection Blues with me and Dylan. We'll talk that final, or not that final, but the final home and away team selections. We might do another redraft. We won 2 flags last week, which is okay. The week before, I think we have won 3 flags in 10 years, so that's a good effort. But 2 flags was a bit of a and fucking hell, Collingwood beat us in the other fucking year. I couldn't believe it. So upset. I was so upset when that happened. Collingwood come in the grand final, and you bet us by a point, Mick.
Oh,
I was shattered. Beautiful. I was fucking shattered, mate. I'm telling you, Mick, if you've got nothing to do tomorrow at about 6:30, we usually start the redraft, and we'll do a 10 season. Then we have a bit of a laugh with it. So, and that's it. All right, we're done. Thanks for everyone for joining. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Get onto the other channels, and that's it. I reckon we just finish off with Go to Mighty Blues.
Come on, boys.
Please, man.
For him and himself and everybody around, 'cause he